Hello, race fans. Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting, where tonight we have the RSR Cup Series for race number 17 of their regular season here at the Milwaukee Mile. What a race we have in store for us here after what we've seen at the ARCA Evolution Series here just an hour earlier. Man, we should expect definitely some good racing here from the Milwaukee Mile. But let's first give a shout out to the sponsors here at the Evolution Racing Leagues and Freaky Fast Broadcasting. First, we have Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. You can go check out their website at www.ornissancentral.com. Next, we have the proud partner of Sheffield Graphics, the leading designer in sim racing paint schemes and liveries. It was founded by a Navy veteran, and a portion of every paint goes to the Military Foundation's Folds of Honor. It's a great nonprofit organization who gives sponsorship to the families of fallen soldiers and disabled veterans. So make sure to go check them out on Facebook under Sheffield Graphics and tell them Freaky Fast sent you there. Next, we have ButtKicker. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from the subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from the ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving the physical mass instead of only air, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful base response, and it's all perfectly synced with every game with no additional software required. So make sure you go to ButtKicker.com to check out their ButtKicker Gamer 2 and every other product they have in store for you there. And you can use our promo code FreakyFast20 to get 20% off of any purchase there at ButtKicker.com. Remember, FreakyFast20, and that is Freaky with 2 E's. So remember to use that promo code so you can feel what you've been missing. And let ButtKicker know that Freaky Fast and the Evolution Racing Leagues has sent you there. But thank you to ButtKicker for being a proud partner here. And what a race we have tonight in store for you here at the Milwaukee Mile. I'm Zach Hall. Joining me alongside me in the booth will be Brandon Colley, and we'll have Robert Moore Jr. running the production box up top with the cameras. Man, Brandon, what a wild race we have in store for us tonight here at the Milwaukee Mile for 165 laps. Right now, Hunter Hayward is sitting on top of the board. But what we've seen in the ARCA race, tough to pass. But with this long a race, we could see this track go through a transformation possibly also.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more rubber laid down. Right now we've got some cloud cover. We're going to be changing up the grip levels and the handling characteristics for sure. Still going to have that 50% fuel load, and if these things get the fuel mileage that we saw from the ARCA cars, definitely going to be able to make it to the stages. Stages are going to be lap 40 and then 80, and then an 85 lap run to the very end of this thing. 4 sets of tires in the pits, enough for their pit stops, plus an extra set that they can try some cheeky strategy with. But the ARCA series put on a good show here. It showed us, bottom lane pretty dominant. Big factor going to be here is that with these Cup cars, it looks like they're running the high downforce package, or high horsepower package. It's going to be a lot harder to get off the corner, and seeing a lot of guys in practice losing the rear end, trying to get as much power down as they can off the corner to get that good run down the straightaways here. Tire management, especially the rear, going to be just as important as that right front on entry.
Yeah, we've seen earlier, we talked a lot about the right front with the ARCA car. I think with this car, we're going to talk a lot more about the right front and the right rear, as a little more horsepower on these race cars for sure, and it's going to definitely affect that. But, man, a lot of good times being put down by drivers so far, as we got about 2 minutes left here in practice before we head off into our qualifying session to see who's going to bring home that Sheffield Graphics Pole Award here tonight. And, this is getting down to the end of the season here, Brandon. We got to see which drivers can get their momentum build up and see maybe if we get a first-time winner here, because this is a track that has some very, it's definitely a weird track. I think you're going to see drivers that possibly haven't had the greatest runs this season have some good runs.
Yeah, and this is kind of what you look for is, somebody who's trying to figure out where you can get some speed, get some pace. Come to these tracks that are kind of unknown, put in a good amount of time, figure something out that other guys just haven't been able to figure out just yet, and show a lot of speed. Really good chance to build up some momentum as the playoffs are looming ever closer. And one driver we talked about the last handful of weeks here, Matthew Rush, second on the board in practice right now. looking for a really good finish. Had really good starting positions the last couple weeks, really good pace, but has not been able to put together those finishes that he deserves or needs here to build up momentum. And like we talked about before, he is one of the Final Four from last season, so we know he definitely has the speed to contend. Just got to start putting it together as the season's winding down.
Session comes to the end here as these drivers will head off into qualifying. As like you said, the season's getting down to a close here, getting very important. Points to the GT Irizarry after his first win of the season enters the Milwaukee Mile with a pretty tough race for him tonight here, man. Gotta give him a huge shout out and tell him that we're rooting for him out here at Freaky Fast Broadcast, and I'm sure a lot of fans will be, as that man is definitely fighting through a lot of pain here tonight after just having a recent surgery. And he was going to miss tonight, but he drove the truck race last night, was able to get it done, and he's gonna go out there and be a warrior and get this thing done out here. I mean, I got to commend the guy for coming out here and putting coming out here and racing.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine even getting out of bed if I had to go through any type of surgery like that, let alone hop in my sim rig. And they say on the bottles of painkillers to not operate heavy machinery or motorized vehicles. I don't think that counts for a sim rig, so I think it's safe to be out here on the track tonight, looking pretty steady on the track as well. Definitely just looking to have a solid night and just kind of tough it out. Hopefully, stay out of trouble, not to have to make too many adjustments on the car and maybe jostle himself around a little bit. And I know he talks about how much he loves his butt kicker, but it's definitely not going to be kicking his butt tonight.
Yeah, definitely don't want to be having a lot of movement there for him, as he already had that look like a little mistake there on the qualifying lap, but he will go out there and try to get it done tonight. And now the first times are coming through. Andrew Little on top of the board at the moment. I tell you what, looking at Hunter Hayward, he missed the groove in 3 and 4 on his second lap and even made a bigger mistake and wrecked it. So his time definitely not going to be picking up as Matthew Rush right now at the top of the board. Curtis Preston, also a great time for him. Bob Fitzpatrick solidifying there in the top 5. Now is the time to start to really flow in. I think we're going to see this board shake up.
Really happy to see Matthew Rush backing up his practice speed here, top of the board at the moment. Got guys still trying to make their laps. Curtis Preston still holding on to second. Bob Fitzpatrick now jumping up to third on his second lap. Matthew Rush improving on his time to further grasp his potential pole position here with a 29.08. Really good lap out of the 11.
Yeah, great lap from Matthew Rush on that second lap especially. And I think that's what you're seeing a lot of guys pick up on that second lap. But man, you said something about him there in the practice. And I think tonight could possibly be the night for him. Looking at him in practice, his times were just fast all around the board. He almost matches what he ran in practice. This guy looking to pull off the first victory of the season. Remember, Final Four contender last season for the championship. This hasn't had the season once, but he will be in the playoffs. He's had a good enough season to make the playoffs. I just think he would have wanted a better one.
Yeah, I think if you're not leading the points the entire season, you could always say that you wanted a better season, but still sitting 6th in points for Matthew Rush and his Clutch Motorsports entry. Like we talked about, no wins so far, but still a really good season. Ahead of quite a few guys in the points that have gotten wins at this point in the season, so you can't complain too much. I mean, look at GT. Before his win last week, he was leading the points with 0 wins. Consistency matters here. Not the most consistent so far with Matthew Rush, but he's been able to capitalize on a lot of other guys' misfortunes to negate his losses.
Yeah, wins really, I mean, they definitely are a huge thing. I mean, we can all agree on that, but at the same time, like you said, you've seen GT just all season long just be the most consistent driver out there, and that's what's got the points lead for him after only getting a victory just last week. So great point there from you, Brandon. But looks like coming near the minute left here in qualifying, looks like most of the times it's solidified. Great time for James Cotrone there in that 38 to put himself 4th on the board. Ryan Bean 5th. So a lot of good times from the drivers up here, and excited. And even GT going back out there after his spin and mishap on his first qualifying lap to put down the 14th best lap for him. So great job from him. Dustin Stallings a little far down the board after being pretty high up in practice. Also same with Jeff Carson. So a few guys making mistakes on their laps that were pretty high up the board in that practice session.
Yeah, and it just shows you the fine line that these guys have to run to get that quick time in qualifying, and getting out of that groove just a little bit will cost you dearly. I mean, from our first place qualifier right now, I believe all the way down to the 17th position, it's only a matter of 4/10, and with the slow speed corners here, that 4/10 will creep up on you pretty quick getting out of the groove.
And there it is. Qualifying session has come to an end as Matthew Rush will bring home the Sheffield Graphics pole here tonight in the RSR Cup Series. Congrats to him on that. We'll bring up our starting lineup here tonight. First, going to go to the 11 of Matthew Rush. Second is going to be Curtis Preston. Third is going to be Nolan Potter. Fourth, James Cortrone. Fifth is going to be Ryan Bean. Sixth is going to be Bob Fitzpatrick. Seventh, Travis Everett. Eighth is going to be Andrew Little. Ninth, Hunter Hayward. And 10th, Stephen Baldwin.
Rusty Modesty in 11th, Craig A. Burns in 12th, Jeff Carson 13th, GT Rosari 14th, Dustin Stallings in the 15th position, Harold Rothery in 16th, Zach Schrittenthal in 17th, Harold Watkins 18th, Ryan Azell 19th, and Chad Biesinger in 20th position.
21st is going to be Kevin Ruff. 22nd, Kevin Zabladil. 23rd, Tony Ludi. 24th, Michael Martino. 25th, Kevin Sabilla. 26th, Mark-Andre Thibodeau. 27th, Anthony Yunez. 28th is David Hall, and rounding out field in the 29th position will be Nathan Campbell, as that is our starting lineup here tonight for the RSR Cup Series. Let's go ahead and bring up Matthew Rutch from Clutch Motorsports and hear what he has to say about getting that Sheffield Graphics pole.
Hey, Matthew, it's Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
I got you. How you doing, Brandon?
Doing pretty well, man. Imagine you're doing a little bit better, grabbing that Sheffield Graphics pole award here at Milwaukee. You know, how are you feeling about this race? Talked about the up and down season you've kind of had a lot of good pace, but just can't seem to get those good results. You feel like you got a good chance here today at Milwaukee?
Yeah, I like where I'm starting. I haven't had a problem starting up front. It's finishing is a problem. I think it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be survival of the fittest here, so hopefully I can just stay out in front of it.
Well, I know, I believe it was last week, talked to you after, I think, a stage win, and kind of some bad juju there. Hopefully that it's all shaken away, and you can keep that thing up front and find the pace to, you know, maybe not even win this thing, but get that good finish that you've definitely been on pace for. You know, we talked about how these cars seem a little bit on the free side, got a lot more power getting out of the corner here. You guys, you know, what's the tire wear looking like? How much is it falling off for you guys?
I think on a fuel run, I was probably falling off about a second and a half, close to that. Yet coming out of 4 is going to be interesting to watch. That's for sure.
Well, definitely going to be keeping our eyes on it, especially guys trying to make unscheduled green flag pit stops on their exits for 4. But let you get back down there, man. Get focused to start this thing, and wish you the best of luck, and hopefully talk to you at some point during the race.
All right, sounds good. Take care, guys.
All right, that was your Sheffield Graphics pole winner here tonight of Matthew Rush from Clutch Motorsports. Going to start out front. I think this guy is he's got the speed. He just needs the race to put together here. We're going to see if this is tonight is the night. I would not be surprised to see that Levin dominate this race. I mean, he was good at Darlington. Seems like the tracks that are very, very tough, this 11 excels at, and we're going to see him start out front here to lead this pack to the green flag as the pace car nearing pit road entry will take the left-hand turn. Green flag is in the air for the start of tonight's race here at the RSR Cup Series. Curtis Preston, Matthew Rush off and away down to turn 1. Preston had a little bit of nose ahead down into 1, but Rush going to drive it down there, pack it down there right onto the bottom, get a nice good drive off. Here comes Preston off the 2, though. He is going to challenge possibly for the lead down the back stretch.
Hey, Zach, look at that restart. A bit of a, I think the timing of that caught some guys sleeping. It really checked up the back of the field. Guys were zigging and zagging everywhere. We were 3 wide at times, and everybody got sorted out. Now back single file, about the 8th position. Oh, back goes, we got a spinner, and barely avoid. Oh, no, the 13 saved it. Nope, got a little help into the inside wall.
And that will bring out the first caution of the night, brought to you by Orrin Nissan Central. And man, what a heavy, heavy collision there for multiple guys. Looks like Tony Ludi in the 13 involved there as a coming off of 4. I believe the wreck here started with the 2. As Zach Strickland. We'll go back here on the Freaky Fast replay. As you see Tony Ludi up ahead of that. There's Zach Strickland losing that 2 car. And he's going to come down the racetrack here. And then Ludi in the 13. Nowhere to go, just gets clipped in that right rear. He goes right. He's going to correct back left now. And, oh, just a hard hit to the inside wall. And that's going to bring out our first caution of the night. And Zach Strenthal just a little bit loose on cold tires and lose that car. And Tony Ludi going to get the worst of it.
Yeah, just almost made it through for Tony there. Just a little bit of a touch to get the car out of shape. Had it saved, but unfortunately, I don't think the 17 was expecting him to come back across like that. Could not check up in time and sent him around into the inside wall. But, you know, good job everybody initially missing the 2 on that spin there. Could have collected a lot more guys than it did. Guys breathing a sigh of relief this early in the race.
Well, one thing I noticed already, Brandon, compared to these ARCA cars, they would, you know, especially 30 cars out here on this race, or 29 cars out here in this entry here tonight for the Milwaukee Mile. Man, that was crazy going down in the 1 and in the 3 and 4. I mean, it really stacked up. It got really bottlenecked there. I think these restarts we could see tonight, which we could see a few of them for sure tonight, I imagine, here at the Milwaukee Mile, with it being a short track. It could be some pretty wild restarts, and that could be the place where you get most positions.
And that seems to be the case for a lot of races with the Cup cars. You can be so aggressive on the restarts, just trying to get as many positions as you can. And, you know, especially like we talked about, the outside lane, not really where you want to be after about the first lap and a half. You kind of got to fall into the inside there. If you can just dive it in and make it stick, get your nose underneath somebody, and just take advantage of the restart, you can gain a lot of positions before everybody has to settle down and single file out.
Under our first caution tonight, brought to you by Nissan Central there, coming off a 4. And I think 4, you heard it, Matthew Rush, our pole setter, when he talked to you, Brandon, he said he thinks 4 is going to be the place to watch. I think actually even our producer, Robert, when we first came here, he said, we got to watch turn 4, guys. And I'm going to say it right now. Robert and Matthew Rush have both hit the nail on the head here tonight at Milwaukee Mile. What was the first cause of our caution?
There's just something about turn 4. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it just seems like it's a lot harder to keep the car pinned down and get back to the throttle. It really wants to push all the way back out to the wall, and here the speeds in the center of the corner are not that fast, so you don't want to try to use the whole track to go all the way out. You really want to keep it pinned down as much as you can, but putting that much wheel into it, you kind of snap loose there, especially on the colder tires like we saw with Zach Schrittenthal. And guys are going to be going around. It's weird how corner the exact same, but handle completely differently.
Great point there, Brandon. You know, we're right on board here with Curtis Preston. Our producers pointed out he is actually clutching this race car, saving a little fuel. You know, with the stage at lap 40, I would think they should be able to make it to 40 with their 50% load here. But I'm not sure. Maybe he's got something else planned here. So, you know, and also maybe he feels the car's a little bit tight. You save that little bit of fuel sometimes. You can help the balance of your race car by having a little bit more fuel than your competition.
Yeah, and I mean, when you have the 50% fuel load, that's things that you have to think about, because not only do you need enough fuel to make it to the end, but generally when you have a full fuel load, you're not thinking about how the weight is affecting you. But when you have less, you've got to take that into consideration as to, you know, when you're taking 2 tires or a late caution, how much fuel do you put in there to try to help your balance? What are you feeling in the car? What do you think you need? A little bit of extra fuel, definitely going to help the turn, and that just might be what Curtis Preston's going for.
We'll see if it works out. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. That time, Matthew Rush. Great jump on the rest of the field as the field spreads out behind him as they head down the 1.
Yeah, a lot better time that this restart. I don't think Matthew Rush was expecting the restart as early as it was there. And now James Catrone up to 3rd, looking to challenge Curtis Preston for that 2nd position.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've seen Catrone in the ARCA series before being very strong on short tracks and tracks that are tough. So I think he fits in that same range as Matthew Rush. A driver that likes the unorthodox type of track, and it seems like it's working out for him as he slides up into 2nd now as Ryan Bean putting a little pressure on past series champion Curtis Preston for that 3rd spot.
Well, I can tell you from experience, Zach, it's always surprising when you're passing a guy that you know is super fast in whatever league you're running in, but it kind of makes you worry. Why you're so fast all of a sudden. Maybe that guy knows something that you don't just yet. Maybe you're expressed to back it off a little bit and save for the long run. No, he's definitely good in the long run. So we got a caution.
Second caution of the night, and unsure exactly what has brought this out. Looks like possibly Stephen Baldwin is one of the first cars I see involved here in the 18. It looks like, yes, Stephen Baldwin going to be the root of this caution here. Brought to you by Warren Nissan Central for the second one of the night. And turn 4 strikes again. As looks like the 18 going to lose it here, but we'll go back on the Freaky Fast replay to show you fans at home exactly what happened here. Stephen Baldwin running in position here. Looks like he was in that 13th spot, coming off of 4 here, and just got up the track a little bit. Lost the rear end. Very late exit too. Lost to the rear end, and gonna go down to the barrels.
Well, for one thing, that was almost one of those unscheduled green flag pit stops I was talking about. But that has got to be the luckiest spin I've ever seen. The fact that he just clipped those orange barrels at the entry to pit road, he didn't even come out of that with any damage. It almost reacted like the tire barriers do at a road course. A lot more forgiving on these Cup cars than the solid walls will be, and his nose looking pretty clean.
Yeah, I was actually, yeah, it does like he didn't even hit nothing. So that's pretty impressive, actually. We're back under caution here for the second time, but man, no harm, no foul there for the 18 then, as nobody else gets any damage. But this is going to be very, very, this is right on board too. Hunter here, Hayward in the 48. He's also seems to be saving a little bit of fuel. So something they might be playing out here. I don't know, Brandon.
Maybe they are not able to make it to the end of the stage, or maybe they just feel like it is going to be super close. But you've got to think that also with these cautions, definitely going to help them out quite a bit with the fuel mileage. And it's interesting. Like I said, not a lot of experience here to actually know what the fuel mileage is. And of course, the Cup cars, this is not really a track you're ever going to see on the schedule for them. There's not even a setup made by iRacing for this track for the Cup cars. So a lot of unknowns here today.
Going to be interesting to see. I think the lights will go out this time here. On the pace car's kind of hard to actually see. And the lights, no, they are still on. So we will have another pace lap here before we get back going green on lap 12 of 165 here tonight at the Milwaukee Mile here for the RSR Cup Series. Thank you everybody for tuning here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. As we'll see what Matthew Rush could do. I mean, man, 2 drivers out front right now could use, I mean, that'd be 2 huge wins for some drivers.
Absolutely, and it's going to benefit James Catrone right now. Looks like he is going to be
15th in points.
Well, you've got Kevin Zabladil on the outside looking in, but he has a win, so that's going to bump him to the bubble position right now. Definitely needs those points going forward here. Really looking for a strong run today.
Yeah, and Hunter Hayward with the 1 win behind him also. So, yeah, he's definitely on the edge there of getting knocked out. Going to need a good run here tonight for sure. And see if he could, because the big thing is if he goes forward in points, he'll be able to put himself in closer. So big thing he needs to do is catch up to Yunez, Little, and Watkins, who are ahead of him in the point standings.
Well, and the issues that we have had for Anthony Yunez so far this race, going to be able to make up a little bit of ground, but I believe he is only less than or a little over 10 points behind that of Anthony Yunez. So it's going to be able to make up a lot of ground where he's running currently, but we still got a long race.
It looks like we'll Gary go back green flag racing here as we pace through 1 and 2, and our leaderboard will be back up in 1 moment as it gets all back up there. But there it is, as we'll get ready to go back green flag racing. Pace car is going to take the left-hand turn down to pit road, And the caution, the caution flag, the green flag is going to wave immediately as that car goes in. Matthew Rush off and away. Looks like Preston going to get back to the inside of control. Oh, a big wrecking from behind. It looks like GT Irizarry involved.
GT looked like not anticipating the early checkup from Rusty Modesty there. A little contact, and then GT got a little help going around as well.
Big stuff happening here on lap 14 to bring out our third caution of the night, brought to you by Nissan Central. Wow, that's going to bring out our third yellow there, and that could have been a lot worse. There's really not much damage from any drivers here. We'll go back on the Freaky Fast replay. We'll see the restart here is the 14 GT Irizarry all over the back of the 6 of Rusty Modesty, going down to 1. Gets in that back in there. That 6 is going to slide sideways. He's going to correct it back right to not hit that wall. Go up the racetrack slide. GT sliding too. And from there, everybody did a pretty good job of not really hitting too much.
Yeah, Rusty not getting as much damage as I would have thought. I think the biggest damage going to go to the 33 of Harold Rothery there. You know, that's just, you know, being in the back of the field, guys trying to take it easy and just not expecting them to check up quite that early for the corner on a restart. GT obviously apologizing about that, but Rusty taking it in stride and saying, you know, no big deal.
Yeah, man, no malice intent there from GT. Just a simple mistake getting to the back bumper. It's so easy to do here, especially on these restarts, getting stacked up like this. But man, already calamity here at the Milwaukee Mile here early in stage 1. So far, stage 1 almost halfway through, but really have not seen many green flag laps.
Yeah, laps ticking off pretty quick here. I think they were saving fuel earlier. They should be pretty good to make it to the end of the stage now. Wonder if anybody'd be saving at this point. Gonna have to go look at Curtis and Hunter Hayward to see if maybe that they were still saving fuel under this caution.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hayward's made his way up too. He's up to 5th, 9th. So he's made use of those cautions, or these cautions here and restarts to get up. So is Kevin Ruff 21st to 13th. I mean, we've had a few guys really go forward. 29th, 15th for Nathan Campbell. I mean, big movers here just with a few caution laps.
Yeah, David Hall as well, up 10 positions to the 18th position right now in the 21, just behind Dustin Stallings. And we talk about guys that are good at those kind of, you know, unique, odd tracks. Dustin Stallings ran really well at Darlington. Pretty interesting to see that he's back in the 17th position right now. I think maybe just messed up his qualifying, not able to get a good starting position, but so far not enough green flag laps to really make many moves for the 93.
Yeah, he was fast in practice there, Brandon, but just, you know, gonna have to keep it clean. I mean, the big thing is we've seen Stallings be really, really strong before and then have some issues and take him out of the race. Right now, near the mid pack of that field, he's going to have to be careful if he wants to work his way up clearly to get into position. But man, at some point we're going to go green here because we see in the ARCA race it can get to that point with these with this track, and we'll see who has what for the long run.
And again, like I said during the ARCA race, a lot like Pocono, when you get spread out, you get those green flag runs, but the restarts, if you just cannot get through those initial 2 laps on the restart and everybody gets single filed out and everybody's still side by side on the colder tires, really struggling for grip, that's when you're just going to get caution after caution. Just got to simmer down a little bit and let it play out, and then just get after it once everybody settles down and gets single file and see what you got compared to the guys you're racing against.
Well, we'll be going green this time by Matthew Rush, still our leader after sitting on the pole. Second is going to be last year's series champion in the Cup Series, Curtis Preston. Pace car from iRacing going to take the left-hand turn, and the green flag will wave this time. Matthew Rush off and away. What a stack up in the back of the field, though. It spreads out almost 4 or 5 wide back there.
Yeah, that was a big accordion there. I think, oh, and another contact going into turn 1. Gets
car
it
sideways.
corrected.
Let's say he corrected it, though.
Chad Beeson
here stack up. Yeah, looks like Chad Beeson at 23. Huge stack up there as they keep it green down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I think some guys maybe just trying to catch the pack coming out of the corner there and make sure that they were stacked up for the restart, and guys checking up while guys were also carrying a little bit more speed. A lot of accordion effect there at the back of the field. A lot of places you see that is like Phoenix especially, that I can liken that to, but getting away pretty cleanly here, finally getting spread out a little bit. Not too many side-by-side battles.
Yeah, you're seeing some battles back here, but really up front it started to single file out as we had Hunter Hayward take the third position. Curtis Preston actually under attack from Ryan Bean. Oh, some smoke off of 4. Don't know exactly what happened. Looks like somebody got sideways, but they will keep it straight for at the moment, as turn 4 so far has been the corner that has really struck these guys for a loop.
And it looked like that was the 33 of Harold Rothery getting a little out of shape out of turn 4 there. Managed to collect it, lost a couple positions. Everybody navigating, getting around him pretty well there. So keeping it green. Everybody now, once the tires get up to temp, going to be a little bit easier, but by no means easy. Still going to have to really watch the throttle, especially out of turn 4 like we talked about. That's going to be the trouble spot today.
You know, my question is too, if it gets to a certain point of the run here, Brandon, mattering about the gearing these guys have, they may end up shifting. I'm going to ride here for a few moments and just listen to the cars and try to see like how low the gearing is getting actually, which already, I mean, Hayward's already hitting 5,900 down into 1. They'll be shifting at some point.
Hunter Hayward's already shifting. I was about to ask you who you're looking at because I noticed that exact same thing. And yeah, Hunter Hayward figured out that he can get a little bit extra out of this car by putting it in 3rd gear. It's risky though. Definitely going to be burning more fuel trying to do that, but at the same time, going to help the turn. But with as loose as we're seeing some of these cars off the corner, I don't want to hurt the rear too much by shifting into that lower gear to help the turn. But it's helping him right now, challenging Matthew Rush for that 2nd position. It's James Catrone now to the lead.
Yeah, James Catrone to the lead. Rush was trying to get in behind the 48 and had a little bit of a moment. That puts him way up the racetrack. That's going to push our pole setter way back. Does not want to lose as much track position as possible there. That's going to push him back, looks like, to the 5th position there from the lead after a few laps. And, man, just going to slide backwards. As got to give James Catrone a big shout out out front, as he's about to have some, he's going to decide to block the 48 here. The 48 backs out of it, but the 38 up the racetrack. Great move from the 48 now to get to the inside. Let's see if he can make it work as they go race off of 4 here for the lead. Hunter Hayward from 9th to the lead here early in the go, and he was fastest in practice, now showing that speed.
Well, talking about look at our Darlington winner, Ryan Bean, up to 3rd place, up 2 positions from his start here. Another strong showing from the 25. If he can get another win at an odd track, it's going to be a fun interview with him, I'm sure. Still looking for those 1.5 miles, but he's got all the odd ones down pat.
Yeah, we'll call him definitely the guy who can tame the tracks that are just way too tough. So he just must be a master at that. But Ryan Bean challenging for that 2nd spot as they come off of 2. Not too far behind Curtis Preston also. He's looking pretty strong. One thing I'm noticing, I'm just going through these guys' cars, not everybody's shifting. Looks like most of the guys, other than Hayward, are running 4th gear. We'll have to see if anybody can catch on to that, because that is a huge factor. The 3rd gear here will really help you rotate through 1 and 2.
And I think a lot of it is some guys maybe just being inexperienced, not realizing that that is an option that you have. And then for some guys, I know myself personally, I just don't like to do that. It's just too much extra for me to manage, and it's just not a comfort thing for me to want to do. And some guys may be taking that approach too. I think in the long run, if we get a super long run, you may have a little bit pressure right rear electing not to shift, but it's just a matter of how much time you lose and how good it is over the course of the run to be shifting down into 3rd for these guys that are doing it versus you that opt not to.
Oh, and there is another caution down here. I believe this will be our 5th caution of the night. Or sorry, 4th caution. as looks like yellow flag. Well, it looks like Kevin Savage will possibly be 17. Well, let's here's we'll go back on the Freaky Fast replay. See exactly what happened. Yes, it is. There's the exit off corner. It's Kevin Sabilla in the 78, and oh, he's gonna lose the rear end. And slide. Oh, does he get the barrels? We'll have to see. I think he gets it stopped. He does. Oh, man. So close for Kevin Sabilla. He's actually going to escape with that with minimal damage.
Well, that's one way to show yourself off on the broadcast there. That's a risky one, but paid off pretty well for Kevin. Again, turn 4 just being so treacherous for these guys. It's really hard to get the power down, and I think, again, it may benefit you for that third gear, able to not have so much wheel into the car as you're trying to get off the corner. And we've got some guys electing to come down pit road.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask you that, Brandon. There's a situation here we can play out here. We're going to get a caution for sure at lap 40 for that first stage of this race. Do we, the guys who pit now, they pit now, and do they stay out?
I think if you pit now, you have to stay out. The problem then is if they were concerned about fuel to make it to the end of the first stage, they're going to be 10 laps behind on that for the second stage. Pitting at this point, so these guys that are coming in now, if they're going to stay out at the end of this stage, definitely going to be in fuel conservation mode.
Yeah, we'll have to see when we get that stage interview, maybe. Brad, you should ask that stage winner how close it was on fuel, because that is definitely an interesting situation. Maybe were they doing it for balance, or was it to make it to that stage point? And if we get cautions, can they stretch that extra time, fuel? So we'll have to see here as we'll get ready to re-rack them back up, as we'll have 2 more pace laps before we go back green. Looks like Hunter Hayward, though, looking for another victory here early on. I tell you what, he looked very, very good. Like you were saying about the third gear thing, the big thing there is just can't get too greedy on exit and light the rears up and kill the rear tires. If you do that, I think third gear is the best way to go. Also, another rule of thumb for any drivers out there listening, want some advice on when do you know when it's time to shift? As a driver, I base that on the RPM. We have the dash there in front of us giving us information in the rotations per minute from that engine. Whenever I see under 6,000 and hitting that 5,000 mark, that's when I know usually it's a pretty safe time to start shifting. When you shift down, you'll usually go down to that 7,000 range with the third gear, and you'll still have about another 1,000 RPM before you redline. So it's a good rule of thumb for me, but I usually wait till you see that 5,000 RPM mark hit.
Zach, you talked about how shifting down to third gear like that, you still can't be greedy. You're going to get the turn, but because of the higher RPMs, the wheels are going to be trying to move a lot faster and really risk spinning out and try to get too much throttle. And that you mentioned that, both Hunter Hayward and Ryan Bean, exceptionally good road course racers, and that comes into play a lot, being able to manage the throttle in this higher revved out gear, rotating through the corner here, just having that discipline to not get back too early on it, and that road course specialty is really starting to show right now with how these guys are having to run this track.
Oh, I could take so much I know from road courses and carry it over personally to these flat, ovals, short tracks like this, because it's like an hairpin corner. I mean, over and over again. So with long straightaways, it takes that same mentality that you need to be able to make those corners work. And it's definitely something you see drivers who excel at road courses usually excel at these types of tracks. We're back going green. Hunter Hayward, man, what a launch again from that 48 here. And he's out and away as Cotrone having a great run in second spot. Looks like Ryan Bean going to slide up into third as the exit off the team.
I'm going to ride around with Ryan Bean here and see if he is also one shifting. Maybe not right now, pushing out a little bit wide. But Hunter Hayward still pulling away a little bit, but James Cotrone still a lot of pace right now, not falling too far behind. Pretty equal gap amongst our top 3 right now.
Yeah, he's looking very strong right now. Travis Everett also moving past pole setter Matthew Rush up into the 6th position As remember, he said in chat earlier he's watching, trying to learn, but he felt like he was going to suck, he said. But tell you what, running 6 ain't too bad there for Travis Everett. Track he does not prefer, but man, look at this back here. This Hornet's Nest. Harold Watkins in the 22. He's right on the edge of those playoff bubbles. He needs a good run there, running at 14th. He's got that 93 of Dustin Stallings not too far behind it. Oh, they're wrecking off of 4. Big wreck. I believe, yeah, there is going to be the yellow. As looks like Kevin Sabilla and multiple different guys involved there off of 4.
Ooh, Sabilla hard into the pit road entry.
Oh yeah, and it all started with, I believe, the 33. Harold Rothbury losing it first here on the Freaky Fast replay. You're gonna see him get loose up ahead of Sabilla. Sabilla nowhere to go. Oh, and the 78's gonna hit off there. Remember, he almost hit the rails last time, and that time was not an almost hit. That was a hit, and that's gonna knock the front end off of that race car and bring out the caution here.
Well, Zach, while you were looking back through the field, I was continuing to follow along with Ryan Bean, and he was shifting down to 3rd. And as I was watching him, it seemed like every corner, right at that 5,600 RPM mark, you guys, Zach knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's just a good rule of thumb. You know that any RPM higher than that, you're going to jump into such a high range in that 3rd gear that you're most likely either going to wheel hop or lose the rear end. So it's kind of useless. But man, all these drivers hit pit road here as Hayward, good entry for Hayward. He had a good bit of car length gap over Cotrone there.
A really good entry there. Guys lagging back just a little bit here, and it looks like some guys not taking sets of tires. Looks like Curtis Preston and James Cotrone gonna oh, excuse me, I was watching Travis Everett there. Oh, Hunter Hayward
GT stays out.
Yeah, some guys staying out after pitting. I don't know if Hunter Hayward maybe had an issue where some of these guys decided to not take tires this time, but looks like Hunter Hayward losing a substantial amount of spots on pit road during this set of stops.
Now the question is, Brandon, is he the stage winner?
He will be. Yes, that was the stage caution.
Okay, so we will go ahead and bring him up here, and we'll see what he has to say after winning stage number 1 here tonight at the Milwaukee Mile for Hunter Hayward. And here is Mr. Hunter Hayward in the 48.
Hey, Hunter, Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, Bud, congrats on winning that stage 1 up. You know, made a good charge there after a little bit of hiccup in qualifying, putting you back in the field for the start, but made it back to the front for the stage win. We noticed a little something. Some of you guys noticing that, hey, the RPMs are kind of low. We can throw this thing down a gear, get some good turn out of it. You know, how much was that helping you? And do you feel like maybe that's going to be a little bit risky for later in the run?
Wait, did it think I was downshifting? Or were other drivers downshifting, or what?
It looked like you were downshifting in the corners, my man.
Oh, that must be some iRacing glitch. I'm heavy in 4th all the way around, but my bad. That sounded like I said bud. But anyway, no, that I know that happens a lot with iRacing. But I am in 4th gear all around. I would probably over rev my engine if I went down into 3rd in the corners. But yeah, I've not been to this track much. I know it's on a stock car track, so really interesting. But yeah, I really like this place. I'm learning a lot already, and looks like we have a really good, strong car today. So I'm looking forward to these next couple of laps.
Well, second question I got before you guys go back green here. It would look like a lot of you guys were clutching and trying to save a little bit of fuel. How close are you in these stages to running out of fuel with this 50% fuel load?
The stages are 40, so I think you could make it probably about 10 over. Maybe it's half a gallon or 50% fuel, so I think it would be probably around 50 laps. I think you can make it on a stage like you'll see right here. I think we'll be able to make it, but yeah, I don't think there might be some weird fuel strategies going on, but who knows? But yeah.
I'll let you get back down there to restart this thing, Bud. Wish you the best of luck. Maybe talk to you at some other point during this race.
All right, that was Hunter Hayward there. As we'll go back green flag racing with GT Irizarry back out front here. Green. As the green flag will wave. He will lead us down. Remember, he stays out. Also, teammates Curtis Price and Travis Everett not taking tires on the stop. Look at Hunter Hayward on the new tires go around the outside. He is digging. And you know, Brandon, I don't really think that it's worth saving the set tires personally.
I think on the short run it's going to pay off, but the tires are going to even out pretty quick. And we've got a lot of cautions, but at the same time, if not a lot of people come in with you and you've got a set, you're going to have to pass a lot of people to get back to the front with that fresh rubber. And Hunter, I think, maybe playing some games with the competition out here tonight. Telling us he's definitely not big, but Hunter being a little bit cheeky out there on the track, maybe trying not to give away what he thinks is the secret to getting around here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Oh man, sliding off of 4, trying to take the lead away from GT. Sorry, he's gonna have to be patient. GT on the older tires. Just gotta work him over slowly, not get into that 14, and not make no mistakes. As we're right aboard Travis Everett off of 2. His heat battles with Patron.
Well, I think it looks like Hunter maybe learned his lesson after last week's race. Showing a little bit more patience now on the fresher tires, able to get around GT without any incident here, but as well, James Patron slowly starting to make his way up to the 4th position. Lost a good bit of time to Hunter Hayward here, but doing it very slowly and calculated to make these passes for the 38.
Well, I'll tell you at the moment, watching Hayward, I've been watching him just to see if he was pulling any tomfoolery on us with his comments. But it seems like hadn't shifted yet. But like I said, I think that's the thing. As the run goes on, you start to slow down in the middle. That's when you can see shifting become a big thing. I don't think on these first laps you're going to see shifting be too big of a thing.
Yeah, most likely not. You're still able to carry quite a bit of center speed here. And like you talked about, that wheel hop, if you go into a corner, especially a flat corner like this, and downshift trying to wheel and you get some wheel hop, you're going to die. Have your hands full trying to keep that thing underneath of you, and definitely not something you want to risk, especially early in the run here. But I'm sure, like you said, as the run goes on, the speeds slow down just a little bit, and guys definitely going to be popping into 3rd gear.
Looking back here at Ryan Ezel, he started in 19th, right now running in that 23rd position, directly behind the 13th, Tony Ludi and Kevin Zabladil there in the 17. He's got David Hall also in the 21 directly behind, and Craig A. Burns in 12. So a lot of drivers here fighting for positions back here in the top end of the top 20 here. So a lot of good battling going on here in the Milwaukee line.
Well, look at Kevin Rupp out here running a modified at the Milwaukee mile. We got a caution.
Ooh. Looks like David Hall in the 21 had a big issue coming off of 4, and I think that was one of those unintentional pit stops there, Brandon. As you can see, the 21 major damage to the front end. Unfortunate for David Hall, and early into the night for him, as he'll exit off of 4 here. You're going to see right behind Tony Ludi. He's going to get a little bit loose here. Can't say the car hits that inside wall, and that's going to shoot him straight into the barrels. Hard collision, knocking the front end off this car, and he's going to have a lot of damage to repair. Possibly could be night over, but man, that's unfortunate for David Hall, running right there near the almost the top 20.
Yeah, it's I think as a driver coming into this track, just looking at it, the trouble spots, that is the absolute one thing that I would be trying my best to avoid. You know, you don't want to get loose by any means, but if you're going to get loose, absolutely make sure you're not going to run into that pit road entry. We've seen pretty much every spin somebody has come close to or made contact with those orange barrels out of turn 4 for the pit road entry. Unfortunately, it looks like the 78 and the 21 are going to be the worst ends of those contacts, with substantial damage on both of them.
I don't think damage is going to be too big an issue at this track. I mean, you're talking about the modified back there. So, you know, it's this track does have aero, of course. Every track does. But at some point, that aero is going to only do so much at certain speeds. And I think overall car is going to be, or how you're driving the car is going to be more important than anything. But I tell you what, you know, right now, looking at the strategy here, Brandon, we had 5 sets of tires coming into tonight's race. So some guys already electing to take 1 set of those tires. So that'll put them down to 3 sets since we already have 1 set on the car. So 3 sets of tires left. We have 1 more stage caution. So I imagine a set of tires will be used there. That gives them 2 for the final 85 laps. I think that's plenty of tires personally, but you never know when it comes down to any of these things. That you definitely need 1 for sure. You're not making that full 85 laps. But, you know, you got that 1 in your back pocket. The guy's playing that extra tire strategy. I don't know. We've seen that strategy work multiple times this season so far, and it's been kind of the hit thing to do now lately. We've noticed here, I feel like in the RSR Cup Series, is to save a set of tires near the end of the race to be able to pull off that late race charge. But I just don't see that happening here. I mean, especially look at the guys who stayed out on the old tires here. GT Zari, Curtis Preston, Travis Everett. I mean, they're 2nd, 4th, and 5th. They did not lose much time at all.
Well, that's the exact same strategy that we saw out of the Slide Job Racing guys at Pocono. Staying out on the older set and not really losing a lot of time or track position on the older set of tires. GT going to have a little bit fresher coming in before the end of the stage to take his set of tires. Still able to hold on to 2nd place versus the guys that were able to come in during the stage caution and top off and get the 4 on there. But again, that extra set at the end of the race, it can be super beneficial, but it depends on how many guys are also on that strategy. If most of the field, if it's only those 3 guys, or maybe even 5 guys throughout the rest of the field that are trying that same strategy, you're going to have so many cars to pass late in the going when other people, they're not coming in to take that set of tires.
I think you're exactly right about that. It would be too much time and too much track position loss. So just going to have to see how that all plays out for strategy-wise. But at the moment, they're holding strong. They're keeping their track position. Maybe they won't have to elect to take that extra set of tires at any point during this race. But I guess they're going to be feeling good to have that extra set in their back pocket. As we're going to go back green flag racing right now, Hunter Hayward been looking like the class of the field. Looking to possibly put a 2nd victory down for him. And that would be some way to be able to roll into the playoffs for him with only 3 weeks left after tonight in the regular season. He's the one that we could watch for or run for a championship possibly, as they said, a lot of pace. The pace car going to take the left-hand turn down this time, and green flag is in the air. Hunter Hayward off and away. Great start for him. Ryan Bean going to be able to, looks like, navigate past GTers already down into 1. That's going to slot him on the 2nd.
Yep, guys jockeying for position now. I'm watching through 1 and 2 seemingly every restart. Guys keep forgetting about the center at 1 and 2 where the curb kind of juts out a little bit, and guys kind of wiggling, trying to not hop that curb too much. But everybody navigating pretty well. Still side by side, about back for the 10th position. Looks like Dustin Stallings and the 52 of Nathan Campbell battling pretty hard back here. Directly behind them, Rusty Modesty and Zach Schrittenthal. Also side by side here, 2 guys that were caught in an earlier incident trying to rebound.
Look at Campbell here. We're right on board with him. He's fighting here with Dustin Stallings for that top 10 position. 29th and 10th now for that 52. Using these new tires very well. Here's the exit off of 4. Here comes Stallings back to the inside as you see Schrittenthal behind him. So great battle here going on for this top 10 position. But Nathan Campbell, what a drive for him so far early in this race in the first 54 laps.
And Zach Schrittenthal sticking the nose inside the 52, not quite going to be able to stick with him on the exit of the corner. Nathan Campbell, really good run last lap to get around Stallings. Overshot the center of the corner just a little bit, allowed Stallings to roll the bottom a lot better and use his runoff to complete that pass back. And now Stallings a little bit loose. Great save for the 93 there, trying to make the pass for the 9th position.
We're right on board here with the 81 Jeff Carson. Not too long ago winning a cup race. Here he is in the 13th position behind Schrittenthal. Looks like he's got almost like a horn on the front of his car with that damage.
That actually happened on the initial start of the race. Like I talked about, everybody kind of getting caught off guard by the timing of the restart. Guys checking up in the mid-pack there. Unfortunately, Jeff Carson getting into the back of the car on the restart, but that damage does not seem to be hurting him like we talked about. Guys out here running around with a front clip with a lot of pace. Definitely not going to be needing to get all that fixed by any means.
Right on board here with Stallings. He's trying to get around this 34 Nolan Potter. He's also got Nathan Kale behind him, threatening to get by. This is a little bit of a stack up here as these guys are jockeying for position all throughout the corner. I mean, one guy's going high here, one guy's going low there. It's definitely setting up for an interesting battle here.
Yeah, it looks like fresh tires. James Catrone now was up in second position for quite a while, leading the race at one point. Now back to seventh, opting not to take tires on the restart, or on the stage caution rather. Still holding pretty well, but guys behind him on fresher tires slowly making gains. But 38, a lot of pace, able to hold him off pretty well.
That time by there too. Leader up front, Hunter Hayward 2 tenths slower than Ryan B directly behind. We see the first long run type of a run here to see what these guys got with the pace. Oh no, why did I jinx it?
Dustin Stallings.
I did that one. As we're gonna have our, I believe this is our 7th caution. Let's go with Eastside Central, and oh man, Dustin Stallings in 93. Gonna bring out that caution, running in that 10th spot, and looks like he had Jeff Carson pretty much follow the banana peel he wrecked on.
Nice spinning on the backstretch.
Yeah. And you'll see, oh, who's just, there it is, lost off of 2, and both those drivers, Carson and Stallings, both having a big moment. And that is unfortunate for those 2 guys.
Yeah, and it's, especially now with the tire limits, you don't want to spin, not because you're worried about the damage, especially to short track, like we talked about. You can get away with some damage and still have a lot of good pace as long as your engine's good. You just can't afford to hurt the tires and essentially just throw away a run and have to stick it out until you're able to pit with everybody else to take that extra set, which is going to be at the end of this stage in another near 20 laps here. So you're going to have to ride around with these tires that are now really worn in and overheated just from these slides and these spins. And, you know, just try to avoid that as much as possible. But this track, it's very difficult, very slick, and it's claimed quite a few people already.
Yeah, this track is just, I mean, it's such an old racetrack that's got so much different character to it that other tracks really just don't have. That I think it's catching a few guys off guard. This is an unorthodox type of racetrack, and it's going to take 100% focus and 100% right on the edge of the grip level at all times. And that's a tough thing to do as a driver, man. You just always being right on that edge. And you have little mistakes like that, and that's where you see guys slip up and make those mistakes.
Yeah, and it just takes a lot of experience and time to do. And, you know, obviously things like wheel differences will help certain guys be able to do that better. Just having the feel for the car and being able to feel exactly where that edge is. And it's also something that I've found, I don't know if you echo the same sentiments, Zach, but it seems like with this Cup car and especially this V7 tire model, it's a lot harder to feel that edge a lot of times at a lot of tracks, you know, really no matter what wheel you have.
Yeah, this track's got a unique feel to it. First of all, it's like you drive. It's almost like you gotta drive over the bumps to go fast here. It's kind of one of the weirdest things. You think you would try to get away from the bumps and stay away from them as much as possible, but kind of the line goes directly over the bumps, so you have really no choice at all but just to drive over the top of those bumps and make as much lap time as possible. But it makes for a bumpy ride and a weird feeling in the steering wheel, and then also when you get loose, you're like, is that a bump or is that just the car breaking loose? I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, we don't have the see of the feel in the simulator. We just have the feel of our hands and our eyes and the sounds. So we got to use what we have, but man, I'll tell you what, these guys are getting it done here tonight.
Yeah, it's been a really good showing. A lot of, definitely a lot of guys wheeling the car quite a bit. And, you know, the guys that are really good at being able to wheel it, they're starting to rise to the front here and make use of their skills at these unorthodox tracks, and then taking skills that they've got from other aspects of racing and applying it here. You know, downshifting, throttle control, just being able to really be quick with the wheel to keep the car underneath you, and it's paying off dividends.
Well, we're double file back up here. And getting ready to go green flag racing here with Hunter Hayward leading the way. Looking to get to lap 80 for stage number 2 tonight here at the RSR Cup Series. Let's see how the action unfolds here as the pace car will look to take its left-hand turn down the pit road. There it is. Green flag back in the air. We're off and away. Great start for Hunter Hayward. That lets GT Rizari get to the inside. And that's the best news for him as he's going to try to hold off Ryan Bean for this stage win.
Yeah, he really wants to see GT side by side with Ryan Bean as much as possible. Seeing that Ryan Bean was closing in on the lap times just a little bit during that run we had. Seeing this caution was not what Hunter Hayward wanted. Wanted to keep that distance as much as possible, not have him stack back up, but it is working out pretty well. Now GT able to get around Ryan Bean here on those slightly older tires than what Hunter Hayward has, making it work very well.
Rizari made that pass. And I tell you, Ryan Bean already all in the back bumper. He's using those new tires to the best of his advantage to be able to get back into that position. Not too far behind. Our pole setter still in that 6th position. The field's on a pretty different strategy right now. So what I'm seeing, is GT Rizari the big moment for him out of 2 or out of 4 there. And remember, he's racing just coming off of surgery. So we got to commend this guy for being a warrior and just being under a lot of pain right now and just making it through this race. It takes a lot of focus and dedication to do this, but that's why he's the point leader in our most recent race.
Yeah, and it's not quite the same by any means, but it reminds me, just the other day I was watching back, I believe, 96. I was watching the Watkins Glen race there where Dale Earnhardt was driving with a broken sternum and collarbone. And leading the race for a good while, and GT coming out of surgery able to sit down here and still put down this quick time. It's very impressive. Like I said, I wouldn't even want to get out of bed, so to have the drive to come out here and hop in and still want to race, it's just how much he enjoys it, and no pain's going to stop him. Definitely want to get out and do what you love out here, and still having a really good result because of it.
Yeah, I tell you what, that shows you how strong the bottom line is right here, Brandon. Ryan Bean on the newer tires is getting just swamped on this outside line. He's going to have to get back down and just slowly make his way around these guys on the inside, or do what he's doing right there. Really kind of run in their groove almost. Is there now he finally gets in position, but here comes Travis Everett now. Also, that has let Hunter Hayward slip away to a pretty big lead.
And again, it's just playing to Hunter Hayward's advantage here. It's going to be hard for Ryan Bean to make these passes. Now even Matthew Rush back underneath Ryan Bean, able to get the runoff to hold on to the 4th or 5th position as of right now, but that's just more positions Ryan Bean's going to have to make up with the even tires to Hunter Hayward to try to run him down. And Hunter Hayward now is completely checked out. He's got a 2-second lead and continuing to grow.
Yeah, he is looking very well off right now. He's liking what he's seen in his mirror, as you can see here right on the front bumper cam of Matthew Rush. You're seeing from his roof angle. There's the 25 of Ryan Bean, who's dropped all the way back to that 5th position. That's got to be frustrating for him because he was closing in right before that caution came out onto our leader. Could he possibly have something? He's going to try to set up Everett now to get back by him, but it just shows even that tire difference that he has, it is tough to pass.
Again, likening it to Martinsville, where you've got a guy that's got a little bit older tires, but just getting stuck on the outside lane on a restart is so detrimental. You just can't find a spot to slot in there. Going to lose a bunch of positions and try to get it back and hope that the run continues to go green, where you can play to your advantage of the fresh tires. But it's definitely not going to be easy here. And I've been cycling back through the field looking at Chad Biesinger back here in the 17th position. Little hornet's nest of cars with himself, Jeff Carson, Ryan Ezell, the 18 up ahead of them. These guys have been battling pretty hard back here.
Yeah, they're getting everything out of these cars back here, Brandon. They are going at it, man. I mean, they're all over the racetrack, and that's kind of, it's opened up the door for passing back here. The guys all over. Oh, yeah, big slide. They're stalling into the back bumper. I believe it was Zell entering 1 there. And Zell had to do a base of maneuvers to hang on to that thing. He's going to slide behind Anthony Yunez and Stallings down. Off of 2, slide him back to 20.
Yeah, that was a pucker moment right there. Great job keeping it out of the... Oh, no, it's Carl right ahead of him.
Oh, Yunez, I think. Oh, no, it's not Yunez. That was the 23 of Chad Biesinger. Wow. Man, oh man, there you seen it live. Freak Fast Broadcasting. The battle for 16th between Jeff Carson and Chad Biesinger. As Biesinger getting a little bit of help from the 81 to go around and to bring out our 8th caution of tonight. With not too far to the stage. Do these guys pit here before the stage, Brandon? We've seen this happen almost before.
I would imagine we might see GT in, but with these caution laps, he should be pretty good. We heard from Hunter Hayward that they're about 10 laps to the good for the stages. He pit 10 laps early before the stage caution there, but we've had a number of cautions since. Should have been able to save a good amount of fuel. But I imagine some guys maybe opting to come in here and try that same strategy. It's worked out pretty well for GT so far.
I think if those guys hit pit road now, I think that's the perfect strategy for them, man. I really do. I just think this is especially if you're going to see Hayward not do it, it's going to end up perfect for them because they're going to have the track position. But I think you're going to see Hayward do the same strategy. Yes, they're all coming down. Oh, no, he stays out.
Oh, fakey fake.
Fakey fake, but it looks like Irizarry, Bean, Catrone, Potter, Andrew Little, lots of cars pitting. This is going to set Hayward and a lot of these guys who are staying out way far back.
And I was just thinking the same thing, Zach, especially, you know, if you're Hunter Hayward, really the car that had been challenging you the most, the 25 Orion Bean, now that you're finding yourself on a different tire strategy than him, you're just hoping that things don't play out in his favor and you get cautions that are going to benefit him and only, you know, maybe get cautions that are going to benefit you toward the end of the race. If you've got a guy that you're battling pretty much that close on pace with, you kind of want to stay even with him and just rely on your pace. Don't rely on blind luck or just, you know, the timings of the strategies being the difference between a win and a loss.
I think this is going to shake everything up into a whole different way. I mean, you know, stage caution coming at 80, so we know it's going to come quickly. I don't think the guys are going to use much tire. We've seen GT and Preston and Everett all stay out on old tires. They haven't even pitted yet for Preston and Everett. They're in that second, third spot, and they're still right there. So I think the right strategy call was the pit there to get the track position.
And we've seen it's been, you know, even on fresher tires, it's been incredibly difficult to pass off the initial restart once everything kind of gets up to temp. Even with the fresher tires, you still got to go to the bottom to get the speed out of the car. And that's exactly right. Track position is mattering a ton here. Putting yourself back at the end of this stage, yeah, you're getting some extra points. But I mean, if you're somebody like Hunter Hayward or, you know, Curtis Preston, Travis Everett, you're already locked in. You don't really need the points. Just go for the win here. So we're going to have to see how it plays out once the stage ends.
We will, as I believe the pace car light should possibly go out this time. We'll have to see. You know, that's always a lottery here on iRacing sometimes. You never know what you're going to get. But at the moment, Hunter Hayward's still out front. He's looking to go back and win stage number 2. Not going to be able to do the Freaky Fast Grand Slam there, Brandon. But he'll still have a good shot at getting most stage victories and possibly win.
Well, looking at the pace that he's had so far, Zach, Hunter Hayward seeming to be the strongest car on the track. Especially, you know, he was on fresher tires this last run, but when they were all even, charged up from 9th place starting position, able to take hold of the lead and kind of never look back, waiting to see if anybody can maybe pull out a strategy to try to challenge the 48 that seems to have found a little something here at Milwaukee.
If they found something, I think it might be the strategy, Brandon. That's will be the thing that could come back to haunt him here. We'll have to see. I mean, we've seen him do some interesting strategies this season multiple times after getting multiple stage wins. We'll have to see what this 48 does here as the pace car will get ready to take the left-hand turn to pit road. There it goes. Green flag in the air. Hunter Hayward off and away. Everett going to get a good jump there in that third slot. Going to let him slide up to Curtis Preston, his teammate, and Matthew Rush in 4th, with Bob Fitzpatrick in 5th as the field sells out from there on back. Hunter Hayward going to look to cruise to a stage victory here, possibly.
Well, great rebound.
18.
Whoa.
18 runs. That's a ball in there, Paul. Oh, yeah, the wreckage. The 5 at Ezel goes around. Looks like he'll get it going. No caution yet. As Hayward
Dicey.
going across the line. Yeah, it's definitely getting a little dicey here as Everett now up to second.
GT looking to go 3 wide back here. Luckily and wisely backed out of it, knowing that he's going to cycle to the front here. No need to gain these positions right now. Put yourself in a dangerous spot.
Hard racing going on here at the end stage number 2. Drivers trying to get the most positions they possibly can. I think Ryan Bean and GT know they'll be the leader, and that's why they're trying to go forward. Look at this stack up here. Oh man, I don't know who that was slow up high, but they are definitely caused a little bit of a stack up there.
I believe that was Michael Martino getting a little bit out of the groove. Yeah, big stack up, guys. They're racing hard, trying to be the one to cycle to the lead after this stage.
They'll try to do their best here as Hunter Hayward is going to exit out of 4 this time, and he'll be getting the white flag for stage number 2, looking to go back-to-back here for stage victories in that 48, but I have a lot of work to do after these next rounds of pit stops, the 48 rounds through 1 and 2 for the finals time here in stage number 2 with Travis Everett. Upwards of 10 car lengths back entering turn 3. Hayward going to have clean selling here all the way through 3 into 4 and off of 4 now. He will be the stage 2 winner here tonight for the RSR Cup Series. Hunter Hayward back-to-back stages.
And now, this final stretch of the race here. This is where all the strategies, differing strategies, kind of come into fruition. Just kind of setting the groundwork for the first 2 stages to see if it'll pay off for the last third of the race. It's going to be interesting. Got some guys that are going to have an extra set of tires now for this last stage. Going to have to pit at least the 1 time. The possibilities are endless.
They definitely are, my friend. Endless possibilities here for these drivers, and we're going to see how fast that 48 is, as he's going to be put back in traffic trying to navigate his way back through. But we'll wait till he hits pit road, gets some service done, and then we'll have a chat with him after his second stage victory, and see what he thinks. But man, he's going to have a long way to go. Right now, it looks like GT RSR was the first of the drivers that pitted, so he got up to 12th. Cortrone got up to 13th, and Ryan Bean and Nolan Potter 14th and 15th.
Well, it's like we said, they were battling pretty hard to try to be the one to cycle to the lead. Gonna have to wonder exactly how much maybe they used up those tires trying to battle right there. But we're gonna see here momentarily once they get back filed up and restarted for the third and final stage here.
All drivers hitting their pit boxes as it looks like GTers are the first of them to stay out. Like I said, James Cortrone, Nolan Potter, Ryan Bean, looks like Andrew Little, Anthony Yunez, Dustin Stallings, Kevin Zabladil, and Craig Burns will be the drivers who elected to stay out, with Hunter Hayward winning the race off of pit road now. We'll go ahead and bring up our stage 2 winner here of Hunter Hayward, as picked up both stages so far for Zab Motorsports. Let's hear what the young man, the 48, has to say about winning another stage here at the Milwaukee Cup.
Hey Hunter, Brandon up in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, Hunter, you still not shipped it?
I'm not shipping it. I'm playing on it.
Oh man, congratulations on that stage 2 victory there. Looked like the tire strategy paid off pretty well for you, able to hold off the guys on the older tires, and the guys that were on your strategy kind of getting bogged down to your benefit there. Now back in the pack a little bit here, going to be restarting in the 10th position. Looks like, what's the game plan going forward here? Got a little bit of ground to make up on this restart.
Oh yeah, definitely, but we still got a long ways to go, about 85 laps, maybe a little bit less. So I'm just gonna stay patient. I know me and everybody behind us have fresher tires than everyone in front of me, so I'm just gonna stay patient, just stay in the mindset I've been in all race, and I think
well, it's looking like it. You and Ryan Bean were duking it out pretty heavily there. Now that you found yourself on an opposite tire strategies here, does that worry you any?
maybe later in the race where his strategy kind of starts shooting above mine. But as of right now, I'm not worried about anything. I'm kind of in my own lane right now, trying to focus on myself at my own marks and just try to keep it here till the end.
All right, bud, let you get back down there and get ready to restart this thing. And wish you the best of luck. Hopefully you can come out of this thing with a good finish.
All right, thanks, sir.
All right, there you heard it from the Stage 2 winner tonight of Hunter Hayward. He's going to restart in that 10th position. Like you were saying there, Brandon, he's got a lot of work to do, but he sounded like he was very focused. He's going to get his head down, and he's going to dig.
Yeah, it's he sounded really confident, you know, just knowing he has the speed to get around these guys. Just, again, you got to be patient. It's a one-lane track, and like we saw even with Ryan Bean, after the first couple laps, it's still incredibly difficult to pass.
What a lineup of cars here with GTers are going to lead us back to green. This man coming off of surgery going to lead us back to green here in the final stage. That is a great story, as he is also our points leader, winning last week. Can he do it back-to-back after surgery? That'd be huge. Pace car's in. GT's off and away. Great restart for him as they head down to 1.
Well, I think GT's definitely got the potential to come out of here with another win, but I don't know if I'd want GT to win and come up and talk to us after his surgery. Said he was going to be a little bit quiet on the radio today, has been so far. It's just going to be different here in GT with low energy for a change, just not what we're accustomed to.
We'll have to see what he can do. Speaking of what they can do, can Hunter Hayward work his way back up? Remember, he started in that 9th position, so he's starting 10th. He's got to keep his mindset in the game. He cannot give up too much and get in trouble with anything as he's battling through the pack. But look at Catrone. He's going on the apron trying to make a pass here. Super right on his back bumper, but that's going to set Potter up for a pass going down.
Sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit. Use every little bit of racetrack you can. Ooh, looks like Zappledo getting into the back of Curtis Preston there. Looks like Preston still able to go with just a little bit of a rear end damage, keeping it going. But you know, talking about Hunter Hayward having to be patient to get through here, the guys behind him in strategy are not. It looked like Curtis Preston and Travis Everett were 3 wide on the restart there, trying to not lose too much time over the guys on the same strategy. While these guys up here in the lead are still duking it out on their older tires, but everybody behind them slowly reeling them in.
Yeah, I think if you got a pace advantage, you got to use it early. Patrone off of 4, no caution. That's going to check up the field, though, and get him back going here. Oh, man, what a moment for the 38 there, Brandon. Wonder what exactly happened. I don't know if he exactly lost it or what. No, it looks like actually some contact between him and Potter, I believe.
It looked like their wheels touched, and it just popped Catrone to the right into the wall. There was absolutely nothing he could do to save that. That is a heartbreaker for Catrone. He had such good pace here today.
Yeah, it was almost like an open wheel wreck, like with the wheels touching. That was very, very interesting. Hopped that front end up in the air, hard hit, and Catrone was having such a good run. Oh, we do have a spinner in the back of the field right now. The 33, Harold Rothler, he is wrecked all by himself, and he's actually backing up on the racetrack. So GT going into 3, I think he'll be able to get it back going in the 33 before he comes, and yes, he will. But man, what a moment so far here in lap 90. A lot of things transpiring, but right now the Moto GT is already still your leader.
Yeah, really not having the best night in Milwaukee for Harold Rothery, pulling double duty in the ARCA series as well as the Cup series tonight, and both races have kind of gone the same for him. Just not really having the best luck, and the car's just not quite to his liking, I suppose. Found himself around quite a few times tonight, out here driving a modified, joining some of the others. Now I think just trying to stay on the lead lap, and I don't even, is he even on? No, he's trying to stay at least 1 lap down, trying not to go down another one there, and put himself in front of the line.
And I tell you what, who's going forward right now is that 48. He has now jumped into the 3rd spot, taking over that spot from Nolan Potter, and it's been almost 1 car per lap, and now up to 3rd. Next on his sights would be Ryan Bean and GT Rosari. He's got a lot of open track. Let's see what type of lap times this 48 can put down coming through the field, but also Curtis Preston, another driver, coming through pretty quickly. He gets by Andrew Little, put himself back into the top 5 with Travis Everett, his teammate, looking to follow him through.
Yeah, they're lost a little bit of time over Hunter Hayward, but not all that much, and lap times, honestly, not that different for these guys. Once the tires have really got up to temp, got a bunch of laps on them here. I mean, Hunter Hayward was only 2/10 quicker than our leader GT last time by, and that's gonna, as the run goes on, slowly get closer and closer here. He may be pretty even with GT by the time he's actually able to catch him.
Yeah, that's gonna be the thing. You got, these tires, they even out so quickly that if he runs him down and catches him and pushes too hard here, he's gonna burn his stuff up, and it's gonna be exactly even when he catches him, and you're not gonna be able to do nothing. But man, right now Hayward looking very strong. Just look at his entry speed he carries. Washes up a little bit there. He got a little bit of the dirty air. I think he had gotten a little too hot because that entry speed was almost extraordinarily too much. And we'll see if he can continue his march forward, because he is clicking time out of leader each and every time.
Yeah, talking about not wanting to overdrive your car and heat up your tires too much, use too much of them. You definitely don't want to do that, because that is absolutely going to overheat that right front. You're just not going to be able to carry the center speed anymore that you once could, but still got really good pace. I'm really impressed with these guys on, they're not much older tires, but generally 10-lap older tires at any track you go to, it's going to be pretty big difference on speed. But GT, Ryan Bean, Nolan Potter, Andrew Little, even these guys are still having a really good pace, still up in the top 10, running pretty well, holding off guys on the pressure tires.
Battle for second heating up with Hunter Hayward going to the inside of Ryan Bean, down in the 3 and 4. Looks like he'll make the pass, slide up into second, and he'll try to go track down GT Rosari for that lead. I questioned the move by him to stay out there and get that stage victory, but his pace, Brandon, I think is just too much to deny, and he's driving up to the field. It doesn't matter if there's track position, really.
And it's working out well for him right now. My concern is that the guys that have stayed out, they're going to be a little bit off sequence. They're going to have to pit about 10 laps earlier. It's how much time is he going to lose when they pit versus when he has to pit. Because when he comes in, their tires are not going to be nearly as worn as what his are when they come in and get their fresh set. So hopefully, it's not going to be too disastrous for him, and it may not turn out to be a short-term gain and a long-term loss for the 48.
Yeah, my question is, when does that start to happen? I think from lap 115 on, that pit window opens up for guys to make it to the end. We heard Hayward talk about 50 laps. That would be 50 to go, 115. I'm thinking 125 is most likely going to be a lot of these guys' points with 40 to go.
With the way the tires are evening out, I don't think you necessarily have to stretch it as far as you need to. I don't know if you necessarily want to come in right at the exact moment that you can make it, but by no means do you have to stretch the tank all the way to this last drop of fuel before you come in. It's, I think, just going to be timing, just trying to figure out, and pay attention to when the guys around you are pitting and try not to be too out of sync with them and just give up free time. Oh man, they're 3 wide back.
Andrew Little, Matthew Bush, Travis Everett, Nathan Campbell also there too. They're all side by side, and they got Stallings in front of that. It's 3 wide down in the 1 and 2. What a battle.
And still 3 wide. Andrew Little saying, get me out of here.
Yeah, being in the middle of that situation, never fun. Oh, almost an incident between.
Oh, somebody's spinning.
Oh, sideways around.
Nolan Potter up.
Oh, no. Nolan Potter is relocating himself to the barrels.
And it looks like he had some help from the 29 Curtis Preston.
Yeah, and I believe I think he was losing it already before he got him, but we'll go back on the Freaky Fast replay and see exactly what happened. And you're going to see Nolan Potter trying to hold off Curtis Preston. He goes down to 3, gets up high, and you're going to see him cut back down here. And he actually was already loose when he was cutting down there, sliding. And right there, Preston just barely just nicked the right rear of that 34, sent him around on top of the barrels. And, man, unfortunate for Nolan Potter. He had to reset, and now he is multiple laps down.
Yeah, and it was, obviously still getting loose before the contact for Nolan Potter. It was the moment that he stepped out of the throttle to try to straighten the car out that GT's closing, or Curtis's closing rate caused that contact there. But yeah, that getting stuck up on the barrels, that is absolute heartbreaker for the 34 Nolan Potter. The damage is one thing, but taking this tow here and going multiple laps down definitely hurts. Reminds me of Matt Kenseth at Dover a long while ago, getting stuck up on the barrels on pit entry. Well, got some guys coming into pit now. A whole host of them. Hunter Hayward actually going to be leading the charge on pit road as well. That's interesting that he just decided to come into pit now, but
I think it's a good call. I unfortunately had myself muted there while I was talking and was informing the folks that, yeah, we had multiple guys stay out here. But it looks like most of those guys, it looks like about 5 to 6 cars here staying out. I think it's the right call, Brandon, because GT still had 3 sets of tires compared to Hunter Hayward, who was battling him with 2 sets of tires. Now at least Hayward 1 set, but with 60, well, you know, with about 65 to go here, 60 to go when we get going green. We're only gonna have 1 pit stop for sure the rest of this race, and I don't think there's enough laps to where we're gonna have to run a good amount of laps before these guys pit again, because we've just seen the fall off is not as much as what it would be. And I think it's a good call. I think right now is a good time to take tires. If you didn't take tires and the rest of the field did, I think you're kind of sitting duck.
yeah, I mean, the time's just not really there. We've only got about 60 laps to go, like you said, and I mean, even if you've only got 1 set, that's still splitting it down the middle, 30 laps if you want to do the run evenly and use that last set. If you've got any more sets of tires in the pits than that, you're just pitting way too many times and not getting enough benefit out of it, and essentially just kind of leaving a free set of tires on pit road that you could have put to use.
I think you got to use the rubber that you got for sure. I mean, it's to your advantage, but you know, we could see something play out where a driver waits to save that set. But what depends on all that is how many saved it and how many didn't, because then your track position. I mean, there are so many things that play off into these tire saving strategies that guys do. But I tell you what, like we said, we've seen it be used multiple times to win this season already. It could possibly be something that comes back to strike maybe the 48 Hunter Hayward with the pace he has. You know, maybe that is the reason why he doesn't end up winning, is because he makes the wrong calls on pit road. So we'll have to see. But man, I tell you what, it's fun to watch as all this transpires with strategy.
Yeah, and this very well might be the call that kind of flips the strategy on its head back in Hunter Hayward's favor, because Ryan Bean's staying out when he did jump Hunter Hayward on the tire strategy before. Hunter might have, you know, slid him that do no reverse card while they were under caution here.
Well, looks like we're going to go back green flag racing here. Ryan Bean elected to take that outside line. That's what's stalling that inside line here. Pace car going to take the left-hand turn here down the pit road. And green flag's in the air. Ryan Bean off and away. Almost a jump to the inside there for the 11 of Matthew Rush. Let's see what these new tires can do as they come to the field. Right, first car on new tires is Hunter Hayward in that 7th position as he exits off of turn 2 on the inside of Craig Burns. He continues to hold that position as he'll be trying to take her field.
Curtis Preston following suit past his teammate GT. GT now going to slot in behind the 52 and try to move his way forward. Got Kevin Rupp his outside, hoping to not lose too many positions. Did get some of that damage fixed. Managed to find a front clip out in the garage and stick it on the 112 out here. So no longer a modified for Kevin Rupp.
You're right on board. Curtis Preston, past series champion. This is the 48 of Hunter Hayward here directly ahead of him. Oh, Hayward almost into the back and hit the 11. You can see the 11 covered it off. The Hayward had to dodge right not to run over the 11 here. And a big moment here on the front straightaway. That's going to let Curtis Preston possibly get by Hayward here. Can Hayward roll the outside is the question. He enters the corner. Doesn't look he will as he's side by side with Curtis Preston. Oh, big run. Look at that. What
That's
a
a
move.
pig.
That's that's just the different grip level there you see with the tires. What a move from the 48 as here's Preston now. He's going to try that same move around the outside. He said, you know what, I just seen Hunter use that. There's some grip up there for these 4 tires, and he slides off the exit. Man, big moment for Curtis Preston.
I was going to say that it looked like Curtis Preston had saw that move coming for Hunter there. It was going to take advantage of it. I was going to say that was some pretty good use of experience for Curtis, but Hunter showing that he's got some experience too, able to use the 11 as a pick to kind of hold Preston behind there, and then trying to get
rush up the racetrack with the help of Nathan Campbell. Oh, a little contact between Nathan Campbell and another car. Oh, and Hayward, a little contact to Stallings up front. It's all transpiring here down the front straightaway. It's 3 wide down into 1. Curtis Preston. Oh man, my heart rate just picked up.
We almost had a very similar Hunter Hayward and Dustin Stallings that we saw with Curtis Preston during our last caution. Dustin Stallings getting big time loose coming out of turn 4 there. Hunter barely able to avoid giving him a little tap in the rear to send him around.
Yeah, and he's all over the back now of Ryan Bean for the lead as he exits off of 4. He should have this job done as he enters down into 1. Hunter Hayward back to the lead here on lap 111. He's just been so strong this evening here at the Milwaukee Mile. Look at this. Dustin Stallings trying to hold up Curtis Preston. Not going to be enough though as Preston gets to the inside down here into 3. Can he make the move done and stick it? Yes, he does. Oh, 3 wide here. Rusty Modesty, Nathan Campbell, Matthew Rush. It's, man, I tell you. Oh, there goes Rusty Modesty around. Oh, he's going to enter pit road.
Yep, there's that unscheduled pit stop.
And that's not going to bring out a caution either. Man, unfortunate for Rusty Modesty having a great race too before that.
I imagine that's probably going to be a speeding penalty at the very least there. I don't think that's going to count for a unsafe entry as there's no cone out there. Hopefully not a speeding penalty. Hopefully the slide was able to scrub enough speed, but he got the caution here.
Yeah, looks like a caution from another incident. I believe that is the 27 of Marc-Andre Thibodeau. Looks like something may have happened in front of him between Anthony Younes and Steven Baldwin. Oh, man. Yeah, big incident between Steven Baldwin and Anthony Younes going down to 3 to bring out our 11th caution of this evening here at the Milwaukee Mile. As we'll go back on the Freaky Fast replay and see exactly what happened. He's going down the back straightaway. You see there is the 54 Anthony Younes leading 18. And oh, just straight into the back end and set and spike there because man, he just kicked the field goal with Anthony Younes as man, that was hard collision to the back bumper. And then you see Marc-Andre Thibodeau in the 27 trying to miss it, losing the race car.
Well, I think that field goal was a little bit wide to the right.
It definitely was a little bit of a wide to the right field goal there, but man, now do they hit pit road? What is Ryan Bean? I mean, I don't think it can. I think now you kind of made your bet, but I believe Ryan Bean and them did hit pit road. Ryan Bean, Travis Everett, and GT are sorry. So multiple drivers hit pit road. Remember, GT had that extra set of tires. Travis Everett did too. So they're hitting pit road using that extra set. I don't know if I like the call on GT's side. He would have been restarting up near second.
Well, the thing is that they're going to be restarting, I believe, a bit farther back than they did on the previous restart here. They were able to get up to the front, but it took a number of laps. We're going to have about 13, I believe, once we go back green here to that halfway point where you would have split the run in half to take your last set if you're somebody like Hunter Hayward or the guys that only have the 1 set left. I don't know if you're going to be able to get the track position, which would be the benefit of this strategy. Go up here, get the track position, pit at the same time, take your last set, and be able to hold him off. I just don't think you're going to be able to get there.
Well, I tell you what, I think I know exactly what these guys are doing, Brandon. These guys have now made themselves able to make it on fuel. And they're going to use that to their advantage. If this thing was to go green, Hayward would have to pit. So would Curtis Preston. So would Nathan Campbell. So would all these guys who have not yet to pit here. And those guys who just pitted would all make it to the end. And that would be the race-winning strategy if this thing goes green.
If that works out, it is a brilliant strategy. But the trends so far just say that that's not going to happen. But because of the fact that it's still a possibility, it's a brilliant move to do. You're not really losing much by coming in and making sure that you can make it to the end of the race. The only thing you're giving up is track position, and you've still got a good number of laps to be able to get that back. I mean, coming across the line this time, we've still got 50 to go. That's still plenty of time to get back up to the front. Being on new tires and having an extra set in the pits after this set. So a brilliant move by these guys, just trying something out of the box here. And I know they're hoping that these guys go green to the end, because it's going to be a race-winning strategy for sure.
Yeah, 15th will be the first car on that strategy, Travis Everett. And we'll see what his progress is like through the field. But we'll see, man. I think, like you said, the trends say yellows are going to come. We've had 11 cautions so far. You know, in this final 50 laps, I would expect at least a few yellows here if the trends continue to be the same. And at that point, then I like where Hayward sits. If this thing goes green, though, those guys that didn't pit, they just called the perfect strategy.
Yeah, I mean, as simple as you can put it, if it goes green, the rest of these guys are boned.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. They will be saying, why did I not make that decision? But I tell you one thing about racing, you can't go back. Once it happens, it stays there. And I tell you what, hopefully stays there is that pace car for those guys who pitted. A green flag is back out and away. Hunter Hayward leading them back down. He's going to want to at least see some type of yellow to bring this thing back under caution. But, man, right now, out front, selling with Catrone and Campbell battling the second front.
Absolutely. A lot of these guys are wanting to see a yellow, but they're definitely not wanting to see one within the next 15 laps or so. Let these guys that just pit burn up their tires. Don't give them too much of an advantage. I've also got to point out, look at Nathan Campbell, up 26 positions in the third spot right now. By far the biggest mover of the race.
Yeah, what a drive for him. David Hall also 28th to 9th. That is a drive and a half for him also. But I tell you what, from GT Rosario on back, it is stacked up with Travis Everett, Ryan Bean, Dustin Stallings. Look at all these guys. You got Chad Beasy and Rusty Mossy. Here comes the 14th, down to the inside, 3 wide into 3. This is heating up here with the new tires trying to come through the field.
We're 3 wide, 2 rows deep there. Getting really racy back here, but man, they're getting squeezed. Ooh, a little bit of contact with Travis Everett and Dustin Stallings there. Rusty Modesty, being a regular Ryan Newman out there, he's making it incredibly difficult to be passed.
Yeah, and you remember Rusty just had that incident where he slid on the pit road, already back on that lead lap, so all played out for him as he runs in that 11th spot right now. GT charging his way through the field. Looks like he'll be fighting for 10th here off of 3 and 4 and already charging through the field for him. So, man, new tires coming through pretty quickly. It seems like they are a pretty big deal.
They're able to really pass everybody as they catch them. Not many problems except for guys that are kind of side by side ahead of them. But at the same time, I mean, they're catching the leaders up here. But Hunter Hayward again is checked out on the start. I'm going to look at the lap times as they go by this time to see what the difference is. But last time by, pretty similar lap times. Now that GT's got some open track here, not being hindered, you have to see exactly what the difference is.
Through the field here, riding on board. You can just see the stack up here. This is what you'll be facing here with new tires on board with Bob Fitzpatrick in the 3. He's trying to climb up through. Goes to the outside of Rusty Mossy. Looks like he's going back out of here. Man, you can see up there just the positions straight back and forth with Travis Everett, David Hall, Stephen Baldwin. I mean, it's getting dicey here in the back end of the top 10.
As we're watching all this battling, an update on the lap times. It was only a 10th difference between GT and Hunter Hayward, our leader at the moment. So the fresh tires, not that big of a deal as far as the leader is concerned, but definitely still making their way up to the front, and that track position later on going to be key. These guys definitely, everybody now, as the laps are winding down, starting to battle just a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, the battles are definitely getting a little more aggressive as this race is going to go on. But I tell you what, who's being really aggressive out front is Hunter Hayward. He is just turning immaculate lap times. I mean, 29.62 to Curtis Preston there in second, a 30 flat. I mean, this kid has got something figured out here in the Milwaukee Mile, and I think this is actually a fun fact we can break out because we talked to the young Hunter Hayward this past week. His grandfather raced at the Milwaukee Mile.
That is exactly right. Yeah, that was something that that he shared with us. That you know, we were talking about coming to the Milwaukee Mile, and was happy to let us know that yeah, his granddad did race here at one point in time. So that's pretty cool. Definitely be pretty cool for Hunter to get a win here on a track that his family has raced at.
Yeah, also a Green Bay Packers fan, so definitely this is somewhat of a home race, I would almost call, for him too. So he's definitely shown it, and you know that's one thing, Brandon, I've always found interesting is seems like what is it with tracks that are your home tracks that you run good there? I guess it's the practice and the time and effort you spend there to be good there, but man, just something about a home track being very good for some drivers.
Well, I think it's just the track you hear about most, you see the most of, and you just take the most liking to, so you're going to turn the most laps there for sure. I mean, personally, I say that my home track is Darlington, but realistically, I'm just as fond of Atlanta, and they're pretty much the same distance, or at the time were the same distance away from me. And you know, I always seem to have really good races there, as opposed to you know other places that are kind of similar, even though nothing's really similar to Darlington. But you know that mile and a half like Atlanta, that one just always seemed to shine for me.
Yeah, I wish I could be that with Charlotte, but unfortunately, that one's not mine. Maybe North Wilkesboro, though. You know, North Carolina boy here, but
Almost.
can't ever say that. Yeah, almost. Second place just wasn't enough. But Hunter Hayward is out here holding a 2-second lead. GT Rosario, though, up to 4th, though, for this race.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lap times, and he's still only 10th quicker.
Well, I don't know, everybody. We're trying to figure out if there's any technical difficulties out there right now, or let me refresh the stream. I did get a playback error. I don't know if anybody else is out there. Sorry, we're trying to work through this, but at the moment I do not have a picture. So if we're coming through,
it's buffering.
Yeah, I believe it is buffering. And I believe also they were having issues on YouTube earlier with the Cook Series race, so something very interesting is going on. I think it's YouTube. I think it's YouTube. Because, like I said, this happened during the Cook race. It literally the same playback error. Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah, I think YouTube just broke.
I think so.
I know, we're putting it in the chat real quick. Yeah. I definitely think it's YouTube because literally I was wasn't watching it, but like I clicked on the Cook race to check in on it, and I had a playback error, and it was lagging so bad on the Cook race supposedly for people on the stream, like it was like in and out. But I didn't notice none of that happening to ours until you said something right there, and I was like, that's the same playback error. Yeah, they just went to nothing. Yeah, I think YouTube may have Yep, YouTube live streams are done. Yeah, every YouTube live stream I click on. Every YouTube live stream. Yep.
Oh, we're back. I think we might be back.
We may be back. I think I see
Bueller?
2 watching. Still buffering for me. We're
Bueller?
trying, everybody, if you can hear us. I think we had Chris Sproul on the chat say he thinks we're back. I think we're having a major outage. He says yes. I can't see nothing, but he can hear us. Can you see a picture, actually, Chris? Oh, he spoke too soon. Oh, nope.
Oh no, I thought we were gonna have to do an MRN broadcast here.
Yeah, it's definitely not you. It's literally every YouTube stream I click on right now is out. Yeah. I don't believe so.
I'm giving live chat updates. They asking questions, I give answers.
Oh, is he still holding on to the lead?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the caution.
Trying to figure out what the yellow was. Okay, so Jeff Carson lost it onto pit road.
Oh, I see a picture. Are we back?
Oh, Andrew Little.
Oh, I think we're back.
We're back?
I think we may be back. I don't want to jinx it, but I can see that. This is what Chris says. I think we're back. Oh, he said, dang it, EJ. Oh, no, I see picture. Everybody, I think we're back.
Well,
Yep. Well, I believe we're back, everybody.
not
Yeah.
sure what the was for, but everybody
Yeah.
come the road.
Yeah, we got a pit party as everybody hits pit road here. Yeah, our producer says we need a YouTube party to keep this thing alive, and we definitely do here. Hopefully, no issues transpire here, but I believe YouTube is having some type of issues, and I believe we may be buffering again. I'm not sure. I'm unsure, but we'll I jinxed it. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah. It's because I don't think you're getting to the... Oh, now I think we're back again. I don't... Yeah, the servers are dead.
Hello, my old friend.
Really? It's the East Coast and something's going on the East Coast.
Hacker. I'm chilling.
I'm chilling. Yeah, clearly I think everybody knows. I don't think so. Oh, I think, can they hear us? Because did you just repeat what I said? I'm chilling? Oh,
We're
there's
chilling.
playback there. Yeah, right. I can't wait for the 20th. New update, yay.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think we're live now again. I think we're good. I have no clue what's going on, everybody, but we're trying to make it through this as best as we can here. Sorry, looks like the East Coast, or literally just it seems like every major platform is even having issues other than YouTube too. So, yeah, sorry about this. We're trying to fix it. Ain't nothing we can really say. Chris says, dude, stop saying that. I know, right? I might just need to let Brandon talk.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, maybe if we just like stay in silence here for a second, everything will be good.
Yeah, just watch with your eyes and not your ears.
Well, I tell you what, it's getting down to the important part of this race. Hopefully, we can get the important parts to you because we missed the last few minutes here of this race. But man, Hayward is still out front. Everybody is pitted. Curtis Preston will start second. GT Rosari being a warrior here tonight after his surgery, driving up to third. Let's see how it all plays out here as the base car gets ready to hit pit road. Base car is in this time. Hunter and Hayward off and away as it goes down to turn one. Curtis Preston going to get passed for second by GT Rosari. Now he'll have a shot to go back-to-back here in the closing moments of this race with 22 to go.
Yeah, but Hunter Hayward maintaining the lead here. He's been so strong on first tires. We got a caution.
Oh, we do have a caution here.
A lot of cars.
Oh, a lot of cars? Oh, yes. Looks like Andrew Little, Chad Biesinger, David Hall, Michael Martino. Multiple different cars involved here on this yellow.
It looked like the 21 of David Hall getting loose there and just clipping the rear of Chad Biesinger, turning him into the wall, and then it was just kind of calamity behind there. Nobody get out of the way.
Is that caution there? Definitely a major hiccup for a few drivers there, Brandon.
Yeah, James Catrone getting involved in that too. Kind of bad. Great day going bad, going worse now for the 38. Looks like they're going to have some substantial front end damage being mired back in the field there.
Well, Hunter Hayward now got to do another restart out front with GT there in second. Now Curtis Preston third after that caution. So definitely a wild start.
Honestly, this just kind of plays into to Hunter's favor. The less laps that he has to run on these tires, the harder he can be on them. And he's been so good on the fresh tires, it's going to be hard for GT to do anything with him.
Yeah, it definitely is. We're glad to be back live for y'all out here. Thank you to everybody who tuned back in. Sorry for the issues again. Like we said, nothing in our hands we can handle there, but definitely sometimes that's the beauty of streaming. But we are perfectly been fine here for the past few minutes now, and hopefully we'll make it to the end of this thing. 20 to go. Hunter Hayward out front. GT Rosari second. Curtis Preston third. I think we got a titanic of a battle getting ready to transpire here.
Yeah, we're having some issues, but you know, like a speech impediment, we stutter, but we get the point across. We're still coming to you while we can.
Exactly. Like here we are, 20 to go. We got 13 cautions here tonight. The Milwaukee Mile been definitely an eventful race here for 165 laps. Hunter Hayward's got a strong car out front.
Yeah, been really a great day for the 48. Even when he's been kind of put behind on strategy, had to come up through the field a little bit. Not too much difficulty even doing that. Some close calls, but still able to keep the car clean. Pretty much the cleanest car, I think, on the track. I think might be one of the only guys that doesn't have a wrinkle in it.
Well, looks like we still have a few viewers out there having some issues watching, but sorry about that, everybody, and hopefully that all clears up for you there as it's cleared up for us here. Looks like at least in North Carolina and Pennsylvania for me and Robert, and I think Brandon, I think you're good too, but man,
Yeah.
Hayward's gonna have to do a lot here to hold him off. I think he's got just the car is just so, he's just had such a strong car all day, and I think this is the perfect time to get that second win. I think it's gonna take a mistake, but I tell you what, GT, he is under a lot of pain right now, and I'm telling you, when you have moments like this where you kind of are unexpected to win, that's almost when you strive to win more. It's kind of like the Michael Jordan flu game story, you know, like just there's times when we're pushed back as humans, and I feel like we fight back harder when we're pushed down.
Yeah, it's a big statement saying, you know what, I'm out here, you know, seemingly at a disadvantage, and I'm going to take that disadvantage and whoop on you with it and come away with the win here and say, you know what, you're going to have to beat me. If I can come out here and win races, you know, in this much pain, imagine what I'm going to be able to do when I'm out here feeling, you know, right as rain 100%. So GT looking to capitalize today. Hopefully, you know, even if he doesn't get the win, a very good finish. It's going to be a huge accomplishment for GT.
Yes, it will be. Pace car in this time. Hunter Hayward off and away. GT did a good job of timing that there. Look at him. He's already all over the back bumper of that 48 as they go down into one. He's going to have a good shot at him here with 17 to go. He got a good start. I think that's going to be a mano is behind there. Curtis Preston holds on the third. And Travis Everett looking to pull Slide Job Racing up into a 2-3-4 right now.
Well, I think the biggest benefit, and you see GT running the center so much better than Hunter Hayward right now. The biggest benefit for Hunter is that it's not Curtis Preston behind him. You know, we talk about the history those two have getting into each other on the track. I don't think GT is going to be quite as willing to use the bumper on Hunter as Curtis Preston would be, but GT, he's wily. He might just get up there and decide to give you a tap and see what you can do with it. Maybe squeak on by and steal the win.
What Hunter Hayward's trying to do is try not to give him the chance to do that as he is starting to stretch his legs here a little bit. One thing I noticed when he is getting tremendous exits down the straightaway, carrying a very straight line, not, you know, a lot of lateral movement off the corner, a lot of lateral movement off the corner, and that car is going straight forward, carrying momentum down the straightaway. That's where he's beating that 14, and at the moment opening a 7/10 of a second lead is Travis Everett. I mean, he talked about earlier how bad he was in this track. He's up to third right now.
Talk about the speed that Hunter's able to carry. Last time by, set his fastest lap of the race. And at this point in the race, it's a good point to do that.
Yeah, that's probably a good time. 28.98 there for him. And that, man, 28.98, that is the fastest time we've seen all day long, practice, qualifying, anything. I mean, that lap was a burner from the 48 out front. He has definitely got that thing pushing on all 4 cylinders, or all 8 cylinders, sorry. And headed down here to take 13 to go. He's going to want no type of caution here. Oh, Curtis Preston makes a big lockup into 3. He slides up the racetrack, letting Dustin Stones get to his inside.
Yeah, that is the worrisome part there. You know, Curtis Preston, I've seen him be a little bit squirrely coming off the corners. I think he's still doing his downshift and maybe just trying to grab a little bit too much, but it's definitely hurt the tires here. Doesn't quite have the pace that he had earlier in the race. But, you know, for Hunter Hayward, especially not wanting to see one of these cautions, putting down these quick times like this, you got to worry how much that's going to heat up the tires and maybe allow these guys enough time to try to reel him back in before this thing's all said and done. You know, going to have just over 10 laps to go now. That's still a decent amount of time, and GT's only a second back, and it's starting to close in a little bit.
Yeah, he is getting a little bit of pressure here from that teammate. So We'll have to see if he can hold him off. But nonetheless, GT, even if he brings up a second or third place finish here tonight, man, this guy didn't even plan on racing this week. I mean, oh, he got a big movement off of 4. Oh, great save though.
Oh man. Yeah, that was a whale of a job there for GT. You know what? Grunt and bear it now. Deal with the pain later, man. And say, wow, that sucked, but don't wreck the car now. Home stretch is in sight.
Yeah, you gotta commend this guy for being a warrior out here on the racetrack, trying his best to run down the 48 here. Right now, trying to do his best to hold off his teammate Travis Everett for the second spot. I mean, what a drive! This guy is definitely not at 100% tonight. You know, a lot of pain and sore from that surgery, and just out here putting on a show after winning last week and taking the points.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at this point, just based on how far back Curtis Preston is, I think it's a guaranteed, barring any mistake, it's a guaranteed podium for the 14 here. Just so much speed, and looking at it now, Hunter Hayward able to pull out a 1.5 second lead here, just continuing to extend. I just don't think there's enough time for GT to get to him. Now just trying to hold off his teammate Travis Everett for that second position here.
I believe we heard some contact with the wall with some car. The two records in the top 10. As in front of him is Kevin Zabuda with Kevin Ruff there in the 112 directly behind him. And back to what you were saying about Hayward out here with the lead he has at the moment. You know, this is the performance of the season for him. It's got to be. I mean, he has just been so far dominant. Didn't sit on the pole. That is literally the only thing that didn't go right for, I think, this 48 all day, is he'd be talking about a pretty fast Grand Slam. Unfortunately, that's not going to play out for him tonight without that pole. But I'm sure he'll be happy enough with a race victory if he can pull this off with 8 to go.
Well, honestly, you know, the only mistake we've seen out of him is the mistake in qualifying, and I think if you want to have a mistake, that is when you kind of want to have it, and not set yourself too far back in the race and just charge forward. So a really good job, really being pretty flawless. I think, you know, Matthew Rush talked about having a clean car. Lost, you know, a couple positions sitting back in 8th right now after sitting on the pole to start the race, but also a really clean car, pretty flawless race as well, just not quite having the pace that we would like, but still top 10 in the cards for the 11, and that's the name of the game. A lot of guys have, you know, kind of found themselves in trouble, whereas Hunter has been able to, you know, stay out of it for the most part, whether it be because he's just been up front, but even when he's back in the pack, hasn't really found any of these issues popping up in front of him. Just having that rabbit's foot tucked up under the seats going a long way for the 48 tonight.
Yeah, he's really showing off. And oh man, yellow out, and guess what? He has something to think about now, as with 6 to go, coming to 5 to go here. We have a caution, and man, oh man, we'll have to go back on the Freaky Fast replay to see what happened here. As we had a late race restart here to shake up everything. Now looking in here at the 18 of Stephen Baldwin, you'll see the 22 of Harold Watkins come on the back bumper. Oh, and just, man, oh man, hard hit.
Little
what
boot
a hit
from the 22. Like going into turn 3 the last time he got a little shot from the 22. I'm not sure if maybe there was some disagreements going on between them from earlier in the race or not, but definitely not as bad as
shooting boogie.
Yeah, that's pretty what it was. We call Brooks and Dunn.
Well, man, nobody hitting pit road up front. I think that was the right decision for these drivers. But now Hayward going to have to just do his best here. I mean, he has the pace, but right here, this gives a chance for him to make a mistake, and these guys to pounce. Can't make no mistakes on the restart.
Absolutely not. And that's, you know, talking about Hunter going out and setting down those quick times. He's got to really try to find the spot on the track here to run. And he's doing it now, running pretty low out of the racing group, letting those tires cool off as much as possible. Just trying to get as much grip for the short run that we're going to have here to the end. And GT also doing the same thing. GT, his entire focus has to be nailing the restart and keeping the pressure on the 48. Keep his mirror full and try to force that driver mistake and capitalize on it the moment it happens.
Mistakes are going to be what makes this race really the critical moments here. If you make a mistake, it's going to shine here in this late race situation. We've seen Hayward. I don't want to jinx him here with this, but we've seen him before make the mistake going through the gears with his H pattern and just not making the right shifts. If he does not get through the gears well, he won't win this race.
I was just about to bring that up. I was gonna say, if we see another misshift out of Hunter Hayward, I'm gonna have to like grab him by the collar and tell him to throw that H pattern away, move to the paddle shifters. It is the future.
Yes, definitely. You know, some people definitely want to stick to that H pattern. You know, some of us drivers definitely like to take advantage of any little advantage we can have out there, and we use that. So, I say in H pattern, man, I used to do it back in the day, and I switched to the paddles just because, you know, the good old paddles they never deny you a good old misshift, you know, and but that H pattern, man, she can come back to bite you. It's fun to do, but she can come back to bite you real quick. You got to be. You can't get nervous. That's one of the big things that happens is you get nervous. You put it in that wrong gear just by trying to be a little bit quicker with the shift. Here, right here, he just needs to be solidly calm and take this green white checker here and just get down the straightaway, get through the first corner, and he can win this thing. But man, that's a lot to do in the final moments of this race.
Yeah, and you know, to that point, it's cool and it's immersive to use the H pattern. But I've never shifted into neutral in paddle shifters and never lost a race because of it, or money shifted because of it. So I'll take that any day. And like you said, late race restarts, man, the adrenaline starts pumping. You get really anxious. The feet start to shake. You get a little bit, you know, kind of hyped up, intense, and it's hard to try to push that out of your mind and just focus on the things you have to do. But you know, some guys are a little bit better than that at others, and it pays off in the long run to try to keep that under control.
We'll see who can control it here for green-white checkered attempt number 1 of the night. Pace cars in. Hunter Hayward, great start, no miss shifts from the 48. Here comes the 59 of Travis Everett fighting for that second position on the podium. Oh, they're wrecking from behind, and we're going to have one more attempt at a green-white checkered as a huge wreck transpires in the back of this field with between Kevin Ruff and Zach Strittenthal.
Ooh, and they're still wrecking. Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there for the two late to go and get it going. I think he spun the tires, but man, going to be our 15th caution of the night. We're going to fast replay here, going down into 1. Oh, it looks like the 2 trying to slide down in behind the 17. There's the 112 of Kevin Ruff there, and that's going to send the 2 around. And that baseball right there, it got bunted.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a home run. I think that was still a ground out at first, but well, no, maybe the overcorrection, spinning the tires, getting back going might have forced an error. I'm not sure, but not having the best night for Zach Strittenthal. Kind of caught up in a few things tonight. Was running in 10th at the time, so unfortunately, probably not going to be able to make it back there with our last attempt at a green-white checkered.
Oh man, we talked about nerves. Well, those nerves just ramped up some more here. Hayward did everything right there. Just gonna have to hope to not do too much here this time and get through it right.
Well, I think he's got to hope that GT can have the restart that Travis Everett did last time and keep them side by side. Kind of take away any chance that you know, anybody's going to be single file behind him and give him a chance to run in his tire tracks. Anything that could hold anybody up is going to be a huge benefit. And also GT looking to get that good restart because he wants that second position back. He was almost guaranteed a top 3 without any type of driver mistake on his part, but now because of this restart, he's not going to be starting on the outside anymore, but starting on the outside like he was. It looked like he was going to lose more positions than just the 1 to fall back to 3rd.
Yeah, I was noticing that too. He got way up high in 1 and 2, and I was worried that maybe he would lose more positions than just that 1 spot for 2nd. But like I say, he's going to be able to restart now in that bottom lane. This gives him a chance to fight back to 2nd and possibly even a victory. I mean, this is going to be for all the marbles, as they say. We don't have the pace car lights out yet, but we got one more lap of pacing, Brandon. This is the time of the race where I always say I'm nervous as even a commentator because I just can't imagine being in this situation here late in the going. Especially for Hayward. I mean, he's dominated this race. It's his to lose now. These other guys, they're going to take what they can get. They were kind of like, well, I was second, third, fourth position here. But, now they're like hungry wolves. They say, wow, there is the lead right there in front of me. I could be the race victor.
Yeah, it sucks to lose a race, but it especially sucks to lose a race that you've essentially dominated and just kind of have it slip away right at the very end.
We'll see what happens as the pace car lights will go out this time. These guys were, man, they were getting ready to go restart right there. I felt like how close they were on the back straightaway.
They're ready to go, man. The nerves are there. These guys are anxious to get this final restart in, knowing that this is the last one we're going to have, and this is going to decide, who wins, who loses, who finishes where, who's maybe a little bit upset at the end of this thing. You've got to think that if there's any contact up here with the front two and something happens, there's a lot of opportunities for these guys all the way back to 5th and 6th to try to capitalize on it. Maybe split the gap, find the hole, part the seas, and steal the win away.
I tell you one thing GT's doing, he's making it known he's in the mirror of Hunter Hayward. He has been close to him really since they took the 2 to green, and he's not let this 48 had any breather in. He's just saying, I'm here in 48. If you make a mistake, I'm here to pounce.
Talking about GT gonna give it to you. Knock, knock, open up the door. It's real. He's trying to knock on through for this victory.
That he is. Pace car's in. Green flag is out. Hayward off and away. Good start for him. That's going to let Everett slide down in front of teammate GT Rosario. Oh, he almost gets into the back bumper. That slides him up the racetrack a little bit. But Hayward, with a gap coming out of 2, just needs to put the power down nicely. Here he does. Builds a 2-car length gap as he exits down the back straightaway. Remember, final attempt at a green light checker. Any caution comes out from this point on, we're over as, man, Everett way up the racetrack. GT chases him up there, almost missing both of them, missing the corner. And the white flag is in the air. Nathan Campbell wrecking off of 4.
And he's stuck on the tires, or on the barrels.
That he is, and white flag out in the air. Brought to you by Sheffield Graphics. One final time here. See who's going to be the race winner. Some car going spinning around in 1 and 2. Unsure who it is. Big wreck transpiring. Man, oh man, here as they go through 3 and 4. It looks like Irizarry going to be able to make that second place move here on the turn. Side by side as Hunter Hayward's your Sheffield Graphics race winner. GT Irizarry brings home second over teammate Travis Everett. Or Everett over him. Man, oh man, 2 thousandths of a second.
2 thousandths, wow. That was one heck of a drag race for the teammates there. I know GT, he wanted that so bad, almost got it.
Oh man, what a battle. Hunter Hayward, though, bringing home the second victory of the season for that young man after winning early in the season when he got the Cup Series call-up at Kansas. And now he comes here and is able to bring home his Kevin Savadil, launches Nathan Campbell off the barrels, helps him out. We're going to have to talk to Hayward about hitting that back bumper when he does burnouts. I think he learned that from Jimmy Johnson.
I think that's right. Start, making him park it after the races, take it to the tech shed. But I've got to say, I feel so bad for Nathan Campbell having such a great run.
Yep.
And then right at the last second, not only losing it, but then getting stuck on the tires, getting forced a lap down. That's a heartbreaker.
It definitely is. And I mean, dude started 29th, was in the top 10 for most of the race. Even great job racing, but just one mistake at the end is going to catch him off. And man, that's how it is in racing. But Hunter Hayward able to bring home that victory. We'll find our top 3 finishers here tonight, and we'll have a chat with them. We'll be right back, everybody. Don't miss it. All right, we're back here, everybody, with our top 3 drivers after tonight's race at the Milwaukee Mile for the RSR Cup Series. And man, you're looking at a guy that was, man, I mean, what a week it's been for him after having surgery last week and coming back to be able to bring home this top 3 finish, man. What a battle for him there down to the end with his teammate. Let's hear from GT about a hard fought battle tonight. Hey, GT, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey Zach, what's up, brother?
Hey man, doing good, GT. Good to see you out here tonight, man. I tell you what, buddy, you are a warrior because I don't know how you done it, man. It just we know what you're going through. Had surgery this past week, and didn't you expect to come out here and race tonight? You did the truck race last night. It felt like you were up to do it, man. And to come out of here with the top 3 tonight, just describe to us how that feels. I won't make it too long for you because I know it's definitely time for you to rest.
Oh, brother, you know I'm a talker, man. No, it was kind of one of those things where yesterday I decided to try to do the trucks and barely made it in, and I was like, this ain't bad. I mean, the hardest part I had was getting down into my racing cockpit and then getting back out. Yeah, God has blessed us, brother. The doctor did what he had to do, and came through, and he said, "Hey, everything went as planned. We got everything that we wanted to get. You're going to be back to your normal self here probably in the next few weeks." He said, "Just take things easy," and he said, "No driving for at least 2 weeks." He didn't say nothing about racing, so I figured, But I was telling my wife, I was like, "Man." She's like, "You sure you can be able?" I was like, "Man, them boys were talking on our private chat about, and they're gonna be able to gain some points on me." And I'm like, I think that just pushed me like, oh hell no, man, I can't do that. I mean, when we got to try and go for this title. So this track is, I've raced it before and I liked it, and then I raced it again, and I couldn't believe that I liked it the first time. And actually it was good, but I'm just not a short track kind of guy. I try to throw the pit strategy thing in there and do things different, and just give up stage points, being that we got the win last week at Pocono. I was like, man, now that the win's in the bag, it's time to start doing some different stuff and see if it'll work out. And it worked out for us there. I didn't want to see that yellow. I know you're probably thinking which one, but the one yellow where I ended up pitting and made it back up through the field up to second, even though I think the tires equaled out by the time I got into second place and could just keep pace with Hunter at that point. But I knew he had a pit long before us. So my hope was that he would have to pit for fuel, and then the yellow would come out, and then we'd cycle around to us. But man, I'm just I can't thank everybody enough. You guys and my team, Ryan, for being so words of encouragement throughout all this stuff. I mean, it's the love is real here, bro. I mean, it really is, and I really do appreciate it.
I tell you what, GT, we love watching you on the racetrack, and we love having you here in the booth with us too, to be able to bring us the action each and every week, man. It's been a pleasure to call your races, and we're so glad that you were able to make it here tonight. And we wish you the best with your speedy recovery, buddy, and glad everything went good there. Because like I said, it's a family here, and we love everybody here. So, man, definitely good to see that, buddy. Now next week, I think it should only, like you said, the doctor said a few weeks you should be back on your feet good again. So man, tell you what, next week we head off to Indy. That track, I feel like that should be one of your better tracks. It just seems like it could be. How do you feel about going there?
I like Indy, but what I don't like about Indy is figuring out how to save tires at Indy. Indy's Indy. I mean, and it's just like anywhere else. I mean, if you crumple up a fender, then you're done. I mean, you got to be able to stick in the draft there. I think I think you're going to have to look out for. And I say this all the time, but Travis is just phenomenal at saving tires, and Curtis does a good job at it as well. And I think Indy's going to turn out to be one of those, whoever gets out front is going to be able to kind of control it a little bit, So that may be the thing. But then again, it may be somebody that's really smooth with the car, like Rush. Rush is very smooth, so. If he can keep defenders on, I think he may be one to watch as well. Because I mean, he's due for a win also. So I don't know. I look forward. I look forward to all of them, man. You know, even these dumb road courses we go to, I don't like them, but I still look forward to coming out here and being able to hang out with the guys. And you know, if I get lucky enough and get a podium finish and get to talk with you jackasses up there, that makes it even better. So, but no, I mean, I think we'll be all right.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be able to talk to you too, buddy. It's always a pleasure, man. But I tell you what, we'll see how you do it next week in Indy before we let you go, man, and get some rest. Definitely some much needed rest after a hard fought battle tonight. Anybody wants to send a shout to?
I mean, I got to give a shout out to the doctors over here at Roper in Charleston, South Carolina. I mean, this incident of mine was discovered by accident, and you know, it was just a God's blessing that it was found. You know, which gave me a huge fighting chance of being able to get this out of my body and go on with my life, man. So I mean, you know, I know after most everybody here listening doesn't know anything about Roper, but I just a huge shout out to the doctors and the nurses. They were all great, taking care of me and stuff like that. And you know, got to give a shout out to my team. They kept encouraging me, you know, hey, try not to think about it because you know they've known this for weeks, and you know we just came out here and just did what we did, and you know they always kept me calm and just you know, you know, made me feel like you know that them they wanted me to be out here with them, and I really do appreciate it, and Ryan as well. But you know, down to the real deals, as always, Mustang Week. Got to thank them for coming on board. Michael Sheffield and Sheffield Graphics for everything he does. Ryan for everything he does. You boys up in the booth, and the rest of the guys on the track for just being so damn respectful and fun to race with, man. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to get to talk to you guys next week. You know, congratulations to Hayward on the win too. That I mean, I had nothing for him. Curtis asked if he's like, "You go get him." I'm like, "Dude, the only thing I can do is just, you know, I'm gonna have to wreck him." I mean, that's the only thing I can do. But you know, it is what it is. But congrats to him.
Definitely so, GT. Hard fought race tonight, buddy, to pull off third. Congrats on that, and go get you some rest, buddy, and we'll catch you next week at Indy.
Boys, good night.
You have a good night, buddy. All right, that was GT Azari, man. What a heart of a champion to that guy. If he doesn't win the championship this year, he's won everybody's heart of the championship award because that guy, man, he deserves it. You heard him talk about the point situation. Some of the guys will get up on the points, and that just made the competitor out in him come out, and he went out there and fought tonight. So, congrats to him on the hard fought third place finish. But let's move on to his teammate Travis Everett for his second place finish tonight at a track I'm sure he didn't expect it at. Hey, Travis, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
We got you, bud.
Well, I tell you what, Travis, we were talking to you earlier during the ARCA race in the chat, and you said you were watching, trying to figure out if you could pick up anything, and you still felt like you were going to go out there and not have the greatest race tonight, but man, able to beat your teammate by 2 1,000ths of a second to bring home second. I'm pretty sure you're pretty happy with that.
Oh yeah, definitely a whole lot better than I was thinking it was going to go. Still not a big fan of this place, but we got up there and able to make a little bit of noise. But I think Hunter had everybody covered there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, like you said, not one of your favorite places, man. I can even think back to the truck race we did here not too long ago here at the Milwaukee Mile. You know, what do you feel like you improved there? Because man, I tell you what, it was definitely a major improvement from that race to this race for you.
I got a little bit more confidence. I feel like we can come here and run top 5, top 10 consistently after this run and truck run. Just about halfway through, I finally found my groove and got into the groove of things there. But too little, too late. Hunter had it figured out just a little bit better. And GT was strong, and Curtis also.
Yeah, definitely. Hunter Hayward out there very strong, and your two teammates there were, man, those guys were lights out all night too, man. So it was a heck of a battle up front there, and just really a night of a lot of strategy going on for sure here at the Milwaukee Mile, man. But you're able to bring home second. Now next week we head off to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, man. I feel like that should be a track that's in your wheelhouse. How do you feel about going to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
I love Indy. I believe one of the toughest things about it though is trying to figure out tire management there. It's real easy to wear the tires out and then end up pushing them off the corner, and it's easy to stick that right front into the wall coming out of there. So just something you got to be careful and watch out for there.
Well, man, I tell you what, if there's anything to do with tire management, I think you'll be one of the guys to beat there, man. So we'll have to see how that number 59 can perform next week at Indy. But before we let you go, Travis, anybody want to send a shout out to you, buddy, for your second place finish?
I want to thank y'all over there at Freaky Fast, and all teammates over at Slide Job Racing put the work in every week. Ryan, everybody over here at Evolution, Sheffield Graphics, and just want to say congratulations to Hunter there again. Heck of a run tonight, and kind of come out here and stuck up the show.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, great run for yourself tonight too, buddy. But we'll catch you next week at Indy, and congrats on second here tonight. Have a great night.
Appreciate it. See y'all next week. Y'all have a good night.
Yep, you too, buddy. All right, that was Travis Everett there, your second place finisher tonight. But man, second win of the season here for this young man. And the number 48, Hunter Hayward, is your Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight at the Milwaukee Mile. Hey, Hunter Hayward, it's Zach Hall in the booth. You got a copy, buddy? Hunter Hayward, it's Zach Hall in the booth. You got a copy? Oh, no. Hunter Hayward, oh, no, he just moved back. Let's try that one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Hunter Hayward, it's Zach Hall in the booth. You got a copy? Oh, no. He might be having some type of technical issues. We'll try this one more time. Third time's a charm, they say in life. And this one, I believe. Hey, Hunter Hayward, is Zach Hall in the booth? You got a copy, buddy? I do not believe we have him, so unfortunately, I believe some type of issue may be going on there with the 48. Not going to be able to talk to us here at this moment. Yeah, he's having a weird problem, so unfortunately, we won't be able to talk to our race winner here tonight from the 48, but congrats to him in that Sheffield Graphics number 48 Plan B sales car on bringing home his second victory of this season. It's been a fantastic showing for him. And like you said, Travis, there a little bit of a stinking up of the show for him there in that 48 as he was able to bring home stage 1 and 2 here tonight and the race victory. But we'll go ahead and move on to our race results here tonight and see where your favorite drivers finish. But Hunter Hayward able to bring home that Sheffield Graphics race win. Second is going to go to Travis Everett. Third is going to be GT Irizarry. Fourth is going to be Curtis Preston. Fifth is going to be Ryan Bean. Sixth is going to go to Kevin Zabaldil. Seventh is going to be Craig A. Burns. Eighth is going to go to Matthew Rush. Ninth is going to be Bob Fitzpatrick. 10th will be Harold Watkins. 11th is going to go to Andrew Little. 12th is Nolan Potter. 13th, Tony Ludi. 14th is going to be Zach Schrittenthal. 15th, Mark Andre Thibodeau. 16th is David Hall. 17th, James Cortrone. 18th is going to go to Dustin Stallings. 19th, Kevin Ruff. 20th place is going to be Stephen Baldwin. 21st, Anthony Yunez. 22nd, Nathan Campbell. 23rd, Michael Martino. 24th is Rusty Modesty. 25th, Harold Rothery. 26th, Chad Biesinger. 27th, Jeff Carson. 28th, Ryan Ezel. And rounding out the field in the 29th position will be Kevin Sabilla. And 29th, as that is your race results here tonight from the RSR Cup Series. What a battle we've seen out there. Hunter Hayward able to bring home the victory and pull off his second win of the season. So congrats to him on that. But Brandon, man, what a crazy race we've seen. A lot of cautions, a lot of different strategies. But Hayward able to bring it home in front of Everett and Irizarry.
Well, yeah, it just goes to show there that you can have all the strategies you want, but sometimes strategies just don't beat outright pace and being consistent. And that was the epitome of Hunter Hayward's race out here tonight. Really flawless, and just like Travis said, he just had something figured out that the rest of these guys didn't quite figure out good enough. So, great job getting his second win of the season, and congrats to Travis and GT, and also Curtis Preston. That slide jobs 2, 3, 4 there, pretty nice for those guys as well. And I'm excited to get to Indy. I have a love-hate relationship with it. It was where I got my first win in the Cup cars, but it's also been a lot of heartbreaking races there since. So hopefully some of these guys don't quite share the same sentiment I do and can go out there and put on a good show.
Yeah, Indy will be a fun one for sure. Don't miss it here live on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Man, what a great night here at the Milwaukee Mile. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in as always. And remember, hit that like and subscribe button before you leave. It would be much appreciated. But let's send it up to Robert Moore Jr., our producer, to close out tonight's broadcast.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for sticking in there, gentlemen. Much appreciated. And thank you, everybody who stuck around to see the ending of this broadcast. and you know, everything that happened on the East Coast with YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and everybody just crashing completely. So, but we do appreciate everybody sticking around and letting these guys commentate through the chat. And so if you make it this far through the video, we do much appreciate that. But like these guys said, next week we're going to be heading off to Indy with these guys, and I'm with Brandon on this. This is a love-hate relationship at that track. I don't mind racing it, but make sure you have enough fuel to finish the race, because I found out real hard running out of fuel coming out of 4. No one likes to help you. But so hopefully we'll see next week how this all plays out. But also don't forget, you can go check out our merch store. Link in the descriptions is below and also in the chat. And then also, you know, make your comments down below, gentlemen, and let us know what you thought about this race, what you thought about this track, you know, and the commentating, and we'll reply back the best that we can as soon as we can. But until next week, we will be off until Monday night. So I will see everybody Monday night, as I am going off on vacation for a couple days. So these gentlemen will be getting a break, but we will catch you Monday night. But until then, everybody be safe the rest of the week. And we want to say up here in the booth from Freaky Fast, God bless everybody. We love yous all. Peace out.
Everybody.
Bye, guys.